It's Wednesday, June 3rd. Today, severe storms hit southern Manitoba, where tornadoes were spotted Tuesday afternoon in parts of our province. Also, room for improvement. Why officials are undertaking a review of Winnipeg's personal care homes and what some families say should change. Plus, a helping hand. How many organizations stand to benefit thanks to a generous thrift store in Morden? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Morning Manitoba, happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now today is World Bike Day, so Ainsley McPhail is live at the Rehabilitation Center for Children because a lot of those kids can't just use a regular bike and so they are unable to join other kids. But there at the rehab center, they build specialized bicycles that are really amazing and really change their lives. So we're gonna show you around the place and show you how those bikes are built with Ainsley throughout the morning. But what a storm last night,
Wow.
Terry. Wow. Lots of noise, lots of lights, power went off. It was quite, and it's still going. Like,
yeah, that's just it. It's still continuing. Yeah, you're going to hear more about some of the more spectacular events in the news, but you're right. I'll take it from here and continuing on that the rain is still coming down and those winds are still pretty strong. They're out of the southwest, gusting to 52 kilometers per hour. 17 degrees to begin the morning is an above seasonal start. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 93%. Yeah, it's going to be a soggy, muggy start to your day for sure. Here's the activity showing up still on the satellite image, and you can see all of those little lightning bolts firing off in there. So very active storms are expected, and yes, that humidity, we're still going to be feeling it today. Now, this will pass on by. We're actually going to see some clearing, a little more sunshine perhaps through the middle part of the day. Still a lot of activity moving, though, through parts of northern central Manitoba. Far north, you're going to be in the clear, but it's kind of more that north-central stretch that'll see that precipitation. And yes, clear for now, but another round of precipitation, and this is going to be moving in again by evening time. So we've got a little bit of a soggy sandwich that we can expect with the morning storms, then some midday sunshine, and then those storms moving in again later on today. Northern Manitoba, or I keep calling it north. Central Manitoba is still going to see a lot more of that precipitation lingering into tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, we again have the possibility of seeing some just light shower activity. Eventually, this tapers off. We'll have a dry end to the week and start to the weekend. But that heat is going to be coming back. Over the next few days, you'll notice that it has cooled somewhat. Can we make note of my nice curls? Because I'm going to go and stand in the rain in 10 minutes time, and this will all be a waste. So thank you for noticing. That's it.
Thank you, Terry. Severe storms rolled through southern Manitoba Tuesday afternoon and evening, and at least 3 tornadoes touched down. You're looking at videos sent in from areas near Carman, Winkler, Morden, and Manitou. Environment and Climate Change Canada confirms tornadoes touched down south of Carman around Tuesday at about 3:25 p.m. and again around 5:15. Around 3 o'clock, a tornado was reported southeast of Dauphin. Red tornado warnings were issued in several municipalities throughout the afternoon, and Manitoba dealt with some other severe weather events Tuesday as well. Environment Canada says 6-centimeter hail, that's about the size of a tennis ball, was reported west of Boulder. And the weather agency says heavy rain and hail were reported in several other areas as the system rolled through. Providing the most appropriate support and care to the right person at the right time. That's the stated goal for long-term care provided by the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. And now the WRHA is looking to ensure it can continue to meet that goal both in the present and the future. CTV's Harrison Shin reports.
Dorothy Burr visits Deer Lodge Center in St. James about 4 or 5 times a week to see her husband, who's been living at the center for the last 8 years.
This is not the first facility my husband's been in, but this is the best that he's been in. The staff that are here are so incredible.
That being said, she says there's always a room for improvement, such as the number of healthcare aides.
They definitely need more staff. I mean, they're overworked. And I see it because I'm here so often. I see how tired they are, how cheerful they try to stay.
Problems like this and others will likely be looked at in the very near future. The Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, working with Shared Health, has put out a request for proposal. It's looking to hire a consultant to assess the current and future of personal care homes under the Health Authority. In a statement, Shared Health writes, in part, there will be two assessments, a functional one and a technical one. The functional assessment will look at the clinical and support functions for resident care, and the technical assessment will look at building and building systems to see how much investments will be required in the near future.
We also already know so much.
Eddie Callisto Tavares has been an advocate for seniors in personal care homes since losing her father back in 2021. She says the homes look like institutions but should feel like a home.
Smaller clusters of these homes instead of having 5 floors or whatever, like making it much more center, a lot more green space available to the seniors.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The consultant will also be tasked with looking at bed capacity in personal care homes to ensure the city has the capacity it needs over the next 30 years. Prime Minister Mark Carney says there is weakness in our country's economy, but he isn't calling it a recession.
The data is going to be uneven, and we see some weakness, in part because of clear decisions by the government. So we have taken back control of immigration. That's meant the population growth has flattened.
That was Prime Minister Carney's first comment on the issue since StatsCan released new GDP data on Friday. It showed the economy shrank slightly for 2 straight quarters, meeting the technical definition of a recession. Prime Minister Carney also said the foundation is being laid right now for a stronger economy. CBS News has fired longtime 60 Minutes correspondent Scott Pelley. Pelley was let go after a tense meeting with his bosses at CBS News. A day earlier, Pelley criticized management at a staff-wide meeting in which he accused editor Barry Weiss of murdering 60 Minutes. CBS made wholesale changes to the show last week, including bringing in a new executive producer. The 59th season of 60 Minutes starts this fall. Japan is seeing a rise in bear attacks on humans, with one caught on camera in Fukushima. Keep your eye on the bottom right of the screen as the bear charges towards a man and chases him around in circles before knocking him to the ground. An approaching vehicle spooked the animal, chasing it away, but it also entered a nearby factory and injured another person. Last year, a record 20 people were killed in over 240 bear attacks across Japan. Scientists say the increase in attacks is driven by a growing bear population combined with a falling human population, especially in rural areas. A high traffic stretch of Corden Avenue is getting some major multi-million-dollar upgrades. The project spans from Shaftesbury Boulevard and Kenaston Boulevard, an important southwest Winnipeg transportation link. The project is a joint effort between Ottawa, the province, and the city of Winnipeg. Some highlights include resurfacing all lanes between Tuxedo Avenue and Kenaston, as well as westbound lanes to Shaftesbury. There will also be additional transit stops, curb bump outs, and a new transit shelter with the goal of improving accessibility and safety. Sewer and water infrastructure will also be getting a refresh, and a new paved multi-use path from Park Boulevard to Kenaston is being put in, with the goal linking multiple area attractions.
As we know, this street, Corden Avenue, is a critical east-west connection, and for the surrounding neighborhoods and commuters moving through this section of roadway every day, this stretch of Corden is key to the rest of our city. It connects residents to downtown, to Assiniboine Park, to Assiniboine Forest, to local schools, and to local shops. That's why this renewal matters.
Crews began working on the work in late May and is expected to be finished later this year. The project is expected to cost $7.5 million. Now to a return of a long-lost letter, nearly a century after it was written.
Just taking out the last closet that hadn't been renovated yet with the old lath and plaster and ripping it apart. And when the dust settled, I looked down and there was a yellow letter laying in the rubble.
This couple made the unexpected discovery more than 25 years ago in their home at the time. The letter was written by a man named Charles Slater and was dated back to 1929. When they first tried to track down a family member, they had no luck. But now 25 years later, and with the help of social media, they have. A genealogist helped them find a family member of Charles who was pleased to see the letter. The couple says they were relieved to finally return the letter to its rightful owners. All right, here's a look outside now at the current traffic situation along Kenaston Boulevard. Looks like things are moving well. The streets are full of puddles, so be mindful of that as you see pedestrians or cyclists on the road. And today is World Bike Day, so if there are any cyclists out there, they need to be mindful of those puddles as well. Good morning, Ainsley. You're going to tell us about the Children's Rehab Center.
Yes, the SSCY Bike Center. We're talking about some of these adaptive bikes. Now, for children, it's a rite of passage to get on a bike for the first time, but not all kids have the same opportunities. So when it comes to having a disability and having these specialized bikes, this is what the fundraiser is for. Cruising to Change Lives, happening on Sunday at the Canadian Mennonite University, and they're celebrating 30 years of it, 30 years of changing lives. We're going to be chatting with one of the families, including little Ava. Just look at these bikes. We're going to learn a little bit about some of the intricacies of them because, as I mentioned, they are specialized to tailor the specific needs of the child so that they get the best experience possible.
Absolutely. Everyone deserves a bike. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's windy, it's rainy. We need the rain though, Terry.
We did need the rain, most definitely, and you know who's happy about it? Not my curls. The flowers. The flowers are looking gorgeous this morning. Yeah, they certainly did need that. This umbrella, I'm not sure how it's going to stand up against these winds. They're still pretty gusty, 30K winds out of the east-southeast, but needing the umbrella as the light showers are still falling. Not a heavy rain, but still a little bit of shower activity continues out here this morning. Pressure is falling, the humidity is sitting at 90%. So it is looking a little bit gloomy to start. Those storms that rolled through last night were pretty spectacular. We've got some really cool weather photos to show you, and of course, a lot of you just witnessed those storms. The light show last night, probably heard the rain last night, and now waking up to some pretty significant puddles. And yes, still a little bit of light rain. That will taper off, and I'm expecting to see some sunshine through midday. And then, of course, the possibility another round of storms could be passing through into the late afternoon or evening and through the overnight hours. Temperature-wise, we've settled down as far as the mercury goes. We were up in those high 20s yesterday, but low 20s today. 22 degrees is normal for this time of year, and we'll be right in that zone through the day. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning. The province says it's beefing up its response to the ongoing drug overdose crisis in Manitoba. The government announced more than $1 million in funding to support frontline efforts. Around $800,000 will be used for a pilot project alongside the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service. The 3-month project, expected to begin this month, will see a 2-person paramedic team working 24/7 to respond to overdose calls in high-need areas like downtown Winnipeg and near shelters. The province is also spending $150,000 on 20 oxygen delivery devices to help with overdoses when naloxone doesn't work. And another $100,000 will help bolster first aid and overdose response training through St. John's Ambulance and the Manitoba Harm Reduction Network. Communities in southern Manitoba are literally digging money pits following a strange weather event. A number of rural municipalities have declared states of emergency following that dusty windstorm last month. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, dirt was blown into ditches, and now they need to be dug out at great costs.
It's not your typical emergency. Ditches full of dirt. But local governments in southern Manitoba are scrambling to clear dozens of them out, and the costs are piling up.
We have never seen that ever, and it was quite the thing. 2 days of it, and now we're paying the price.
The RM of Montcalm, south of Winnipeg, declared a state of emergency after the windstorm in mid-May. The storm blew dirt from fields into ditches, filling them up and clogging culverts.
Whatever didn't have any stocks from last year from cultivating, it just went in the ditches. So now they got to dig it out because ditches have to flow again.
The RM has hired 3 contractors to dig them out because of the risk of flooding following any rainstorms.
Eventually it would flood the farmers' fields also, so the damage could be astronomical.
Declaring a state of emergency allows the RM to spend money they haven't budgeted for. In Montcalm's case, the estimated cost for all of this is $1 to $2 million.
We cannot afford it. We definitely would need help.
They're not alone. Other RMs have also made similar declarations. The RM of Morris says they have 200 impacted sites and a cleanup bill that could reach $1.5 million. The RMs are hoping the province establishes a relief fund. In a statement, the province of Manitoba says it has received requests for disaster financial assistance, which are under review. No determination has been made if a DFA program will be established for this event. Digging out from that event is expected to take a few more weeks. Jeff Keel, CTV News in the RM of Montcalm.
Google wants to fight mosquitoes with more mosquitoes. The company's debug program is seeking approval in the U.S. to release up to 32 million non-biting male mosquitoes in Florida and California. The insects carry a naturally occurring bacterium, which prevents them from producing offspring with wild female mosquitoes. Because only males are released, they don't bite or spread disease. This means the population of disease-carrying mosquitoes could shrink over time. The American Environmental Protection Agency is reviewing the permit request. Ontario is now getting in touch with FIFA over the province's new ticket resale law. The province says FIFA and other resellers need to comply with the new legislation, which passed as part of Ontario's budget in April. It bans any tickets resales from being sold for more than face value. The province is warning the International Soccer Organization that it could face a fine of up to $250,000. FIFA is allowed to set ticket prices at its discretion, but tickets cannot be resold on their platform for more. The province says it expects all ticket resale companies operating in the province to comply with the new rules. Now to some good news for Omans Creek. The city says it's one step closer to building a new pedestrian bridge. Flooding, steep pathways, and usability are concerns for folks accessing the aging infrastructure at Oman Park. The city says it's time for a new bridge, but what it'll look like isn't set in stone yet. First Public Works wants to hear what you think of the plans.
We're also adding things like a formal fishing spot on the east or the west side, of the bridge, and a gathering spot or an outdoor classroom on the east side of the bridge. And we're also doing improvements to the toboggan hill, such as adding additional benches so that it's even more inviting than it already is.
Another pop-up is happening June 9th at the Wolseley Farmers Market. The online survey is open until June 14th at engage.winnipeg.ca. This just might be the most Canadian collab ever. Beaver Tails and Kraft Dinner have collided for two new Canadian flavors. First, the KD Takeover Beaver Dog, which is a hot dog wrapped in a beaver tail pastry topped with Kraft Dinner and ketchup. And if that's not your jam, how about a KD Poutine loaded Kraft Dinner bacon and chives? In a statement, Beaver Tail says some partnerships just feel meant to be and say it's all about turning familiar comfort food into something new and unique. I think they look delicious. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. On William Newton Avenue, the westbound curb lane will be closed between Watt and Stadacona Street. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Donald Street will be closed from Portage to St. Mary Ave. And the westbound curb lane on William Avenue will be closed from Main to King Edward. If you see any, or King Street rather, if you see any other issues, let us know.
I think there might be a place for a beaver tail dog. I'm with you on that. At first I was like, don't mess with my beaver tails, but then KD on top? I don't know, you might have something there. Here's a look right now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. A few raindrops sitting on our camera right now and a few more falling outside still. As far as temperatures go though, we're still well above seasonal. 9 degrees would be a normal low, and most of us are in those mid to high teens to kick off the morning here through southern Manitoba. A little bit cooler over in Swan River, 12 degrees and just barely in the double digits in the Paw right now. You'll enjoy a little bit more sunshine later today. Further into the north, some low single digits. This is actually where it's the clearest this morning, and there will be plenty of sunshine in that most northern stretch, but clear often means cool, and that's what you're seeing this morning, although mid-single digits to wake up to. That's not a bad place to be. We were waking up to all of the activity with the storms that started last night and continued throughout the overnight hours. They are tapering off, pushing off to the east, and we will start to see a little more sunshine then through the middle portion of the day at least. I mean, it may have started on a soggy note and it could again end on a soggy note, but throughout the day today, some sunshine. Some seasonal temperatures, we'll take it. 22 degrees is normal for this time of year, and we might get up to 23 by the time kids are coming home from school today, with at least a little bit of sun shining through those clouds today, but then that possibility of storms picking up again this evening and continuing overnight with still a chance of showers for tomorrow. Slightly cooler temperatures for tomorrow and Friday, but low 20s to finish off the week isn't far off of seasonal. Knowing that we're going to soar far above seasonal again, yeah, the weekend things will be heating up, back up into those high 20s, maybe even some low 30s, with that storm activity picking up again to continue into next week. Speaking of storms, wowza. So the Ecole Scott Bateman Middle School from the PA was out at the game last night, and what a light show Mother Nature put on for them. Cool night. Thanks for Jennifer sending in the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg weather at CTV.ca, and we'll see you right after this break.
Welcome back. If you're trying to plan out your Folk Fest weekend, check out this Your Morning Winnipeg contest. The 51st edition of Folk Festival runs July 9th to the 12th out at Birds Hill Park. Taking the main stage, Father John Misty, Lucy Dacus, Sylvan Esso, and Monsters and Men. And this is your chance to win 4 tickets and invite your family and friends to enjoy all 4 days of the Winnipeg Folk Festival. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword happy. Good luck. A thrift shop in Morden is captivating the hearts of businesses and people alike in the community. It's managed to help out dozens of different organizations. CTV's Joseph Bernanke shows you why this isn't an ordinary thrift store.
2 years ago, this land was an empty field. Now it's a brand new state-of-the-art 400-meter track at Ecole Discovery Trails in Morden.
We built this track so kids could come and enjoy it and run and play soccer here in the middle of the track. It's been huge for the running community, for the athletics community.
The track opened shortly after the school opened in 2024, but it wouldn't be able to host dozens of runners if it weren't for a significant financial contribution from the Morden Community Thrift Shop.
They pledged $100,000 over 5 years, so $20,000 a year for 5 years. And that really got the ball rolling for us. That donation was something that we could take to other donors and say, listen, the community believes in this.
The school wasn't the only organization to get help by the thrift store. Tuesday marked the grand opening of the store's second location adjacent to their original home. But before any cash came in, a total of 26 organizations shared $128,000 in grant money.
That's why we're here. That's the only reason these 2 buildings are here. That's why we built this new one, is to be able to do what we do, and that is funding our community.
Staff at the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame say their $5,000 donation will go a long way to replacing old department store display cases now showing their age.
And now we are looking to get ready for the next 25 years, as I have talked to the board about, and all the new display cases will have 3 levels.
And the generosity from the store is being felt outside of Morden. About 10 kilometers northwest of the city, a 131-year-old church is at risk of collapsing. Church members at Dunstan United Church say a $2,500 donation will help them make critical repairs needed to keep it standing.
This will make it possible that we can restore the foundation on this building. We have to lift the building off the foundation and replace the fieldstone underneath it.
Whether it's foundation repair or a new track, helping the community is all in a day's work for the thrift store's team of more than 85 volunteers.
That lets us know what we've done is worth it.
Joseph Bernanke, CTV News, Morden.
A long list of organizations are getting help from the thrift store. To learn more about where the money is going, check out our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Here's a look outside now at those rain-covered streets. Lots of puddles out there, as you can see. Please be mindful of pedestrians and cyclists. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
There's a look outside, 17 degrees with those raindrops still sitting on our camera. East-southeast winds, 30 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 90%. Maybe the winds will shake those raindrops off our camera. You can see them moving around out there. The winds were stronger this morning. They're now down to 30K winds. Eventually, we should see them easing, but gusty winds expected through the morning hours, and the most active weather will be happening this morning too, although it'll actually pick up again later on today. We'll have this little bit of a calm moment through midday before we see this kind of thing picking up again. But there you can see it's kind of tapering off now. It was really angry with the yellows, the oranges, and the reds, and now it's just kind of changing up to the greens. Still a few lightning bolts in there, so don't think that it's nothing yet, but it is certainly easing from what it was. And then eventually it will taper off, and through midday we'll enjoy a fair bit of sunshine. 23 degrees is what we're looking at as far as temperatures go, and 22 is normal for this time of year. So a return to those more seasonal temperatures. I know I've been loving the heat too, and it will come back again. But for those of you that find the heat too much, well, you've got a few days of the more seasonal temperatures now to enjoy. With 23 on tap today, sunshine through the day, but that chance of showers with thunderstorms developing again through the late afternoon or evening and continuing overnight. 14 degrees with the wind shifting out of the southwest. Those winds shifting a little more tomorrow out of the northwest. And there is still the possibility of some lingering showers tomorrow. Slightly cooler temperatures, 21 degrees, but we'll see a little more sunshine back again by the end of the week. Still on the cooler side, or seasonal, I should say, close to at 20 degrees. But look at the weekend. For the heat lovers, that's coming back again. And for the storm watchers, you're going to have a busy time by the end of the weekend and into the start of next week.
Thank you, Terry. The search for the body of a woman who fell through the ice in central Manitoba has come to an end. 23-year-old Tasha Furland and 31-year-old Corbin Constant were inside a pickup truck when it broke through the ice on Cedar Lake December 16th. Constant's body was found on January 6th. Tuesday, RCMP announced community members have found a woman's body near the south dike of the Manitoba Hydro Dam in Grand Rapids. The Grand Rapids Fire Department has identified the individual as Furland. An autopsy is pending, and Furland's next of kin have been notified. Canada wants to renew its free trade agreement with the U.S. and Mexico for 16 years. That's the message this country's trade minister delivered in Washington. How the Trump administration receives that message is another story. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more.
Minister, what are the goals of this meeting?
To be able to tell you how well it's gone when we finish.
And after Dominic LeBlanc's meeting with top U.S. trade rep Jamieson Greer, he called it positive.
We presented a number of specific proposals to Ambassador Greer that we think are good in the broader context of the North American economy and respond to some long-standing issues that the United States has raised with us.
LeBlanc wouldn't share those proposals. He did say he raised the issue of tariffs, and he discussed his letter to the U.S. and Mexico officially backing a 16-year renewal of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement.
After today's meeting, do you believe that that's attainable?
I'm eternally optimistic, Abigail. I think it's in the economic interest of North America to commit to that trilateral framework for another 16 years.
The stability and the certainty and the predictability that that agreement offers, and the importance of trying to get to there as quickly as possible.
A delegation from Manitoba was also here Tuesday, separately meeting with U.S. trade officials.
I think we heard clearly what some of those irritants were. I think there's a path that we can make these kind of go away.
The U.S. has made its irritants known. The booze ban, supply management, and the Online Streaming Act high on the list, with one source today quoting frustration from U.S. officials who said dealing with Canada has been a roller coaster.
He seems to go and socialize and come back empty-handed while the Mexicans have been in formal negotiations, eating our lunch for the last 6 months.
LeBlanc said he and Ambassador Greer agreed to be in touch next week and said there's still a lot of work to do before the July 1st deadline. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
A massive drug smuggling tunnel stretching under the U.S.-Mexico border has been discovered near Tijuana. The tunnel, nearly 17 meters deep and nearly 600 meters long, started under a fake Buy for Less store in San Diego County.
Sophisticated tunnel that had lighting, ventilation, an electric rail system, wood shoring, and multiple staircases.
U.S. Homeland Security had been surveilling the location for about 6 months and noticed suspicious employees handling heavy luggage, while the store had hardly any actual customers. The tunnel was used to smuggle some $45 million worth of cocaine from Mexico to Southern California. The province has officially started construction on a new East Winnipeg school and child care facility. It will be located in Devonshire Park and serve up to 800 children from kindergarten to grade 8. There will also be an integrated child care center with space for up to 134 infants, preschoolers, and school-aged kids.
It's going to be an approximately 90,000 square foot facility. It will include modern classrooms, flexible learning spaces, a gymnasium, a multi-purpose room, and also specialized areas to support a variety of learning opportunities and a variety of programming to support all students.
It's one of 11 new schools announced in last year's budget. The school is expected to open in September of 2027. A late goal gave the Golden Knights the early lead in the Stanley Cup final.
And a half to go. Hurdle into the dot to Sissons. Back for Hurdle. He scores!
Thomas Hurdle scored late in the third to break a 4-all tie and give the Knights the 5-4 win. Carolina is coming into the final after 4 straight wins over the Habs. Vegas, meantime, has now won 7 straight games. Game 2 goes tomorrow with puck drop at 7 p.m. Central. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things are moving quite well despite all those puddles out there right now. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.60. It's a small drop from yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, for all those who play team sports, check out this contest. We're giving away 25 $100 Chicken Chef gift cards with draws every week from May 25th to July 17th. Tell us your most memorable, fun team moment. Attach a picture and you will be entered into the draw. Kristen shared this photo of her daughter performing at a competition with the Shelley Shear LCM dance team. Your photo can also be featured on our show. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
Coming up, Ainsley is live at the Rehabilitation Center for Children, telling us all about their bike clinic there and how they build specialized bikes. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
All right, it's been a soggy start to the morning, but I put away the umbrella. I didn't quite put it away. I've got it very close at hand, and it's already open just in case because, I mean, it's still very humid right now, feeling that kind of heavy air. But it's mild out here with the above seasonal temperatures, and that rain, at least in the downtown area, seems to have tapered off briefly. It's a big city, though. It might still be falling in some neighborhoods, but it has tapered off considerably from the heavy downpour of last night. The winds have also eased somewhat now out of the east-southeast 30 clicks. The pressure is falling and the humidity is high at 90% this morning, and there's still the heavy clouds hanging around, but I don't even think they're going to be sticking around all day now that the bulk of that system is passed and will continue off to the east. We'll start to see these clouds breaking up, clearing out somewhat, and letting a little bit of sun shine through. We're still in for seasonal temperatures today. It's well above normal to kick things off, but we'll climb up into those low 20s, so a little bit of a break from the intense heat, which, by the way, will be coming back again this weekend. Let's head on over to Ainsley McPhail now and see where she is and what's going on. Hey, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. We're live at the Children's Rehab Center. Jason Ward's joining us now to show us this really cool space. You get to do some really awesome stuff here. Tell us about your role.
Yeah, for sure. So the Rehab Center for Children offers wraparound services for kids with disabilities in Manitoba. So that could range from physiotherapy, occupational therapy, prosthetics and orthotics, communication, and my role is the engineering manager of assistive technology. So that's everything from bikes, walkers, wheelchairs, and bikes are here, what we're here to talk about.
Well, when it comes to this equipment, when it comes to disabilities particularly, it's specialized. It's not one size fits all. How do you tailor it to meet the needs of kids and families?
Yeah, so we modify about 150 bikes for kids per year. So that's through consultation with our physio and occupational therapists. And so those modifications can range from just throwing some toe cages on pedals, or making direct drive, or some of the kind of larger training wheels that you see on our bikes here. But it's also like very customized things. So we had a little girl who had limited range of motion in her knees. So we had to convert her regular bike into a more of a recumbent style. So we stretched out the rear frame and brought the seat back, and it allowed her to be able to ride her bike comfortably.
How rewarding is that? And tell us about the faces of the families when you're able to give them these bikes.
I pinch myself every morning. I've truly got the best job in the world. Being able to see kids who maybe weren't expecting to be able to ride a bike, and parents who didn't think their child might be able to ride a bike, hop on an adapted tricycle or bicycle and see them rip around is just, it's the best part of my job.
And people have an opportunity to support this with an event coming up on Sunday. Why should they?
So our bike clinic, our bike services are funded completely by Children's Rehab Foundation. So it's all made possible by donors who make a donation, buy a smile cookie, or come out to Cruising to Change Lives. So that's the #1 way you can come and support our program.
Thank you so much. Such beautiful work. More coming up after the break.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones fell 182 points. The Nasdaq is 47 points up. The S&P index had a small drop. The loonie decreased set to 72.18 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng lost 405, and the Nikkei boosted 1,667 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. More than a dozen wildfires have sparked up across the province in the past 48 hours. 5 of the fires are in the far north in the region surrounding Dooley Lake and are being monitored. 3 northeast of Flin Flon and the Pas are considered out of control. They range in size from 15 to 280 hectares. 3 more are in eastern Manitoba and are also being monitored. 2 fires are burning out of control west of Lac du Bonnet. They were reported Sunday. Reeve Lorne Schinkel says water bombers and helicopters are being used to suppress them.
We had our fire department went out last night on value protection, and there's 2 properties dependent on what happens with where the fire is going to end up. There's 2 properties that could be impacted, so they were outfitted with sprinkler systems. And there's been no evacuations yet, but at the end of the day, we're just taking that precautionary measure.
The most recent provincial data shows nearly 30 wildfires in Manitoba right now. 5 are considered out of control. It's shaping up to be a deadly week on Manitoba highways. RCMP are reporting 2 more fatal crashes in as many days. The first happened Sunday on Highway 44 at the intersection of Provincial Road 212, just 3 kilometers west of Garson. Mounties say a motorcycle driving on the highway hit a car attempting to cross the intersection. The 66-year-old driver was airlifted to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries, while his passenger, a 70-year-old woman, died at the scene. The 19-year-old woman driving the car was taken to hospital as a precaution. And early Monday afternoon, a van and a semi collided at an intersection in the rural area northwest of Roblin. The driver of the van, a 42-year-old man from Roblin, was pronounced dead at the scene. The semi flipped over, and the driver, a 31-year-old man, also from Roblin, was taken to hospital in serious but non-life-threatening condition. Gas prices across Canada are trending upward once again, and experts say the market volatility is likely to continue through the summer.
Around the world, we are draining strategic reserves, emergency reserves, to levels that we haven't seen in a long time. It's going to take a long time for that to be replenished.
Reserves are being drained as a result of the ongoing bottleneck in the Strait of Hormuz. Canadians for Affordable Energy reports the most expensive gas today is in Vancouver, where it's nearly $2.10 per liter. Meanwhile, the lowest is in Edmonton at $1.62 a liter. CAA reports today's daily national average price is $1.69 a liter. The city of Kenora is moving ahead with the expropriation of an historic downtown hotel.
We would like to see the appropriate level of investment to bring an amazing heritage building back to its former glory.
Friday, the town's council approved a motion to continue with the seizure of the Ken Richia Hotel. It follows a ruling in April by the Ontario Land Tribunal, which determined the city is entitled to pursue the property to revitalize the site. The hotel opened in 1910, and a walkthrough 3 years ago revealed large portions of the space were in disrepair. Attempts to find new developers to work with the owners have been unsuccessful. The city will now be able to request proposals for the site.
The goal would be to go to market and attempt to attract developers that have a vision and the financial capability and the experience to do what they say that they're going to do.
Only around 70% of the building is currently in use. Long-term stay guests will be required to leave the property during construction. In France, a hospital is using donkeys to help recovering patients. Patients take part by walking one of the therapy donkeys around hospital grounds. A patient is paired with the same donkey every time, giving them a chance to develop a bond. Doctors say the bond helps them build confidence and feelings of self-worth. France has funded its animal therapy program since 2022. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning on William Newton Avenue. The westbound curb lane will be closed between Watt and Stadacona Street. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Donald Street will be closed from Portage to St. Mary Avenue. And the westbound curb lane on William Avenue will be closed from Main to King Street. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text.
17 degrees outside right now. Look at that sky. So cool, but you can see the drags of rain off in the distance there. So it is still coming down in some places, even though I didn't need my umbrella 10 minutes to go up on the rooftop. East-southeast winds are 30 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 90%. But just because I didn't need it on the rooftop, I said it's a big city and a big area. Obviously, we're still seeing that activity because it's still very much in play in and around the area of, well, downtown, but especially off to the east is where it's headed next. And there's still some lightning bolts firing off in this system. So even though it looks like it's downgraded from all of the oranges, yellows, and reds, there is still a little bit of that very active weather tucked in there still. Now, the most northern part of the province, like right along that northern border, that's where the sun will be shining, and Churchill will benefit from that. Aside from that, some heavier clouds through a lot of central and parts of northern Manitoba, and with those clouds comes that chance of showers. So many places do have that chance of precipitation today, and then right up in that most northern stretch is where that sun will shine the brightest. We might see things clearing out through the day. I mentioned the bulk of the activity this morning has passed, and the clouds will likely break up. Moments of sunshine are expected, but then another round of showers and possibly storms rolling through again later today. So it's not like we're done with the storm activity. It'll be the next round that comes through that makes things quite active again. Low 20s expected pretty much all throughout southern Manitoba. Back to what is normal for this time of year, 22 degrees being that seasonal daytime high. Further east of us, you're still very much in the path of this morning round, and then still could see it lingering into the afternoon or evening as well. We've got afternoon or evening, could take us into tomorrow morning, and then tapering off drier for the latter part of the week and heating up again for the weekend, though those storms developing again as we're wrapping up the weekend and looking ahead to next week.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, you two. Happy Wednesday.
I know it's hump day already.
Hump day.
Enjoy the sound of the rain. So it's not, the summer solstice not till June 21st around there, but for those of us in the weather department, Terry would know this, it's meteorological summer. It began, I can't say the word, it began on Monday, June 1st. So we are actually in summer because we want to talk about some summer sounds that you might find a little annoying.
I really love that you included yourself in the meteorological department. He works in weather now, folks. 35% of people, Rochelle said, wind chimes were really annoying.
Okay.
What do you find annoying?
I like wind chimes.
I like wind chimes too, but I agree there are some that are annoying. It depends what kind of material they use. But I hate the sound of mosquitoes buzzing around. It means that you're probably going inside a little earlier than you wanted, and it means that you're probably going to have marks all over your body, which I can't stand, and itchy for days after as well. So yeah, for me it's mosquitoes and probably the sound of wasps as well. So it's just that buzzing sound that you know that you either have to take cover right away.
Some people mentioned the sound of crickets, and I always thought, well, crickets means there's nothing happening, right? But I looked it up, or we listened to it. Yeah, they can be a little noisy.
Oh, they're annoying for sure.
Not like leaf blowers, though. I can't stand the leaf blowers, or the person that fires up that lawnmower before 8 o'clock on a weekday morning.
When you're trying to sleep.
No, thank you. I don't need. I don't need to hear that. How about you, Gabs?
Yeah, and this is kind of a year-round one. There's youths and their big exhaust pipes. Listen, they're probably all lovely people, and their cars are really cool, but why does your exhaust pipe have to be so big? Like, what are we proving here, folks? And then they're always roaring around.
Yes.
The exhaust pipes. I'm making myself sound grumpy, but I don't love the big exhaust
pipes. And they
pipes.
typically go to bed after I'm in bed, or they typically leave or head out for the night when I'm in bed, so they wake me up. Yes, it's definitely, when they go out, I'm in bed. So yeah, that's also an annoying sound. Well, thanks, you guys. Have a good day. We'll see you on Friday. A Canadian veteran is being recognized as the oldest horseshoe player in the world, but the accolade is far from the most remarkable thing about Bob. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has more.
If you ask Bob Curtis about his cap,
I gotta have a look.
he'll tell you.
Not everyone looks this good at 100.
But if you ask Bob about the secret to feeling even better,
100%.
He'll begin that by showing you how he still plays horseshoes a couple times a week.
You know, you try to get better.
And while Bob's too humble to talk about all the tournaments he was named the best, his fellow players, like Dick Stevens, will.
It's unbelievable how he can still throw that shoe. He's a force of nature.
And Bob's also, reports say, now the oldest competitive horseshoe player in the world.
Well, I just ignore it.
While Bob ignores accolades, his younger self couldn't ignore when Canada joined the war.
They need us, we go. You know, no questions asked.
He volunteered to join the Navy and served for years around the Atlantic.
There's a depth charge going off.
While Bob photographed the friends he made,
they're just some of the boys.
He also documented the burials at sea for the ones he lost. By the time the war was over, Bob had learned never to take life for granted.
Don't slow up. Just keep going.
And Bob taught his son Lee, find a positive purpose.
And most days he gets up with a list of things that he wants to accomplish that day. He's typically helping somebody.
When he wasn't helping his late wife of 67 years, Ellie, and their family, which now includes great-grandchildren, Bob was volunteering countless hours at the Horseshoe Club.
He'll get up on the roof, and he's 100 years old, and he gets up on the roof here and works.
It turns out Bob's secret to living 100 happy years isn't just one thing. It's a combination of staying active, being of service, and remaining grateful. Like when the owner of the hat store offers to give you your big birthday ball cap for free.
But I wouldn't accept that. She's got to make a living, too.
So Bob paid her and thanked her before promising to return next year to buy a new one.
A 101.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
That's a nice hat. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's Wednesday, June 3rd. Today's springtime storms, where a trio of tornadoes touched down in Manitoba Tuesday. Plus, making improvements why Winnipeg's personal care homes are under assessment. And moving forward, how you can have your say on the future of Omans Creek Bridge. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is 7 o'clock on your hump day. It's Wednesday. We're halfway there, and thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, there is an architect known as John D. Atchison, and he has made a huge impact in our community. 55 different buildings are still standing. Those are buildings that he designed. They're buildings that we take for granted, really, and they're beautiful, and they're still here. So there's a brand new book about him, his legacy, and of course his life, as well as his work here in this community and in other communities, including Chicago. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that book and when you and where you can get your hands on it. But you'll want to be inside right now because it's raining, and might as well enjoy that book.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we sometimes need those like reasons or a little bit of permission to go back inside and maybe be a little less productive. Relax, put your feet up, and rain is always one of those reasons, perhaps, to send people back inside, although it is tapering off now, and we'll start to see some clearing through the day, and then you'll have another excuse tonight when the next round of storms rolls through. It's 17 degrees, and you can see the heavy clouds still over us. Winds on the stronger side out of the east-southeast, 30 clicks. The pressure is falling, and the humidity sitting at 90%. Now, the bulk of the activity has tapered off as far as the storms go. So there you can see not a lot happening through the southwest, just a little bit of shower activity. You might see that becoming more active. Here in the southeast, it was more active last night. It's tapering off now as it's continuing to push off to the east. but there's still the possibility that we'll see more of it later on today. Also through parts of central, northern Manitoba, the far north, you're in the clear. Enjoy that sunshine today, but much of north central Manitoba will deal with that rain today. Here you can see it right active into the mid-afternoon. Now, we might experience a little bit of clearing through the middle part of the day. The storms this morning, sunshine through the mid part, and then by evening time, here's the next round coming again. So the possibility of more showers or thunderstorms into the evening time, and that could continue overnight, and still some activity lingering into tomorrow morning. Probably on the lighter side, but the possibility still of a few light showers before it clears out and we'll start to see a little more sunshine. As far as heat goes, that will have settled down for the next few days as well. Back to the more seasonal temperatures in the low 20s, but those high 20s are coming back again, timed out for the weekend with sunshine to kick it off and some storms to wrap it up. And our art today is a big thanks to Elizabeth. I love my home. I love that sentiment, Elizabeth. And thanks for sharing that with us. Keep the photos or the pictures of your art coming. We'd love to see what you're working on. Send them through our website to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenaston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Severe storms rolled through southern Manitoba Tuesday afternoon and evening, and at least 3 tornadoes touched down. You're looking at videos sent in from areas near Carman, Winkler, Morden, and Manitou. Environment and Climate Change Canada confirms tornadoes touched down south of Carman around Tuesday at 3:25 p.m. and again around 5:15 around 3 o'clock. A tornado was reported southeast of Dauphin. Red tornado warnings were issued in several municipalities throughout the afternoon, and Manitoba dealt with some other severe weather events Tuesday as well. Environment Canada says 6-centimeter hail, that's about the size of a tennis ball, was reported west of Boulder. And the weather agency says heavy rain and hail were reported in several other areas as the systems rolled through. Providing the most appropriate supporting care to the right person at the right time. That's the stated goal for long-term care provided by the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. And now the WRHA is looking to ensure it can continue to meet that goal both in the present and the future. CTV's Harrison Shin reports.
Dorothy Burr visits Deer Lodge Center in St. James about 4 or 5 times a week to see her husband, who's been living at the center for the last 8 years.
This is not the first facility my husband's been in, but this is the best that he's been in. The staff that are here are so incredible.
That being said, she says there's always a room for improvement, such as the number of healthcare aides.
They definitely need more staff. I mean, they're overworked. And I see it because I'm here so often. I see how tired they are, how cheerful they try to stay.
Problems like this and others will likely be looked at in the very near future. The Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, working with Shared Health, has put out a request for proposal. It's looking to hire a consultant to assess the current and future of personal care homes under the Health Authority. In a statement, Shared Health writes in part, there will be 2 assessments, a functional one and a technical one. The functional assessment will look at the clinical and support functions for resident care, and the technical assessment will look at building and building systems to see how much investments will be required in the near future.
We also already know so much.
Eddie Callisto Tavares has been an advocate for seniors in personal care homes since losing her father back in 2021. She says the homes look like institutions but should feel like a home.
Smaller clusters of these homes instead of having 5 floors or whatever, like making it much more center, a lot more green space available to the seniors.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The consultant will also be tasked with looking at bed capacity in personal care homes to ensure the city has the capacity it needs over the next 30 years. The province says it's beefing up its response to the ongoing drug overdose crisis in Manitoba. The government announced more than $1 million in funding to support frontline efforts. Around $800,000 will be used for a pilot project alongside the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service. The 3-month project, expected to begin this month, will see a 2-person paramedic team working 24/7 to respond to overdose calls in high-need areas like downtown Winnipeg and near shelters. The province is also spending $150,000 on 20 oxygen delivery devices to help with overdoses when naloxone doesn't work. And another $100,000 will help bolster first aid and overdose response training through St. John's Ambulance and the Manitoba Harm Reduction Network. Alberta separation came up during a meeting between the head of the Assembly of First Nations and King Charles at Buckingham Palace. Assembly of First Nations National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Nepenak says King Charles supports First Nations opposed to Alberta splitting from Canada. The National Chief Woodhouse-Nepenak says she plans to have more conversations with the King on the issue of separation. Now to some good news for Omans Creek. The city says it's one step closer to building a new pedestrian bridge. Flooding, steep pathways, and usability are concerns for folks accessing the aging infrastructure at Oman Park. The city says it's time for a new bridge, but what it'll look like isn't set in stone yet. First, Public Works wants to hear what you think of the plans.
We're also adding things like formal fishing spot on the east or the west side, of the bridge, and a gathering spot or an outdoor classroom on the east side of the bridge. And we're also doing improvements to the toboggan hill, such as adding additional benches so that it's even more inviting than it already is.
Another pop-up is happening June 9th at the Wolseley Farmers Market. The online survey is open until June 14th at engage.winnipeg.ca. Here's a look outside now at Portage Avenue at Polo Park. It looks like things are moving well to start off this Wednesday morning. If you encounter any issues out on your drive, please send us a text when it's legal and safe to do so.
The Greater Toronto Area marked its third straight month of higher home sales compared with a year earlier. As the city's real estate board says, the market tightened in May. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says the average selling price was down 4.6% year over year to $1,069,000, and the composite benchmark price meant to represent the typical home was down 6.7%. U.S. stocks are struggling to build on record gains as growing strains on the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran has sent oil prices higher for a third straight day. The cautious mood follows flare-ups in the Middle East that are testing a fragile truce between Washington and Tehran. As talks between the parties dragged on, President Donald Trump has said Iran has agreed it won't have a nuclear weapon. SpaceX aims to sell 555 million shares at $135 apiece for its record-breaking $75 billion initial public offering, Reuters is reporting, citing an unidentified person familiar with the matter. The report indicates SpaceX is breaking from the traditional IPO process, whereby companies typically announce a price range before marketing the shares during investor roadshows. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Today is World Bike Day, and Ainsley McPhail is hanging out at the Rehabilitation Center for Children. That is where they build specialized bikes for kids who can't use the bikes you would find in a typical store. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. Yes, and how heartwarming is it to be able to give a child and a family a bike like this tailored to their needs, whether they have a physical disability, cognitive disabilities. Cruising to Change Lives, happening on Sunday, is marking 30 years, and it really is a walk, run, roll, whether you choose the 1 kilometer or the 3 kilometer. It's family friendly. They'll have a claw machine. They'll have some superheroes there for the first time, and we're going to be learning about some of the benefits to these bikes specifically tailored to the needs of the kids. Chatting with the engineer behind it this morning, it really is heartwarming to see how rewarding it is to see them have their hands on these bikes and get the physical independence as they cruise along.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. No more umbrella at this point.
I've got it rolled up right now. As I look off to the east, though, I can still see a little bit of those drags in the clouds. But if you could see what I see off to the west, looking beautiful. There is a break in the clouds. You can see the sun shining through. A gorgeous view to the west of us, and we'll eventually see that right over top of us as these clouds continue to clear, and all of this pushes off to the east. 17 degrees right now is where we're sitting with a 27K wind out of the south-southeast. It's easing ever so slightly. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 91%. So yes, it is going to be a bit of a muggy day today. We're dealing with the humidity most definitely. We're dealing with plenty of lingering puddles after all of that rain last night, but my flowers are looking stunning. Stunning. Beautiful. And we needed that precipitation. Goodness, did we ever, both for the dust and for the flowers. So happy to have seen that roll through, but another round to come. While I mentioned it could be clearing out through the middle part of the day, another round of precipitation into the evening overnight, and some slightly more seasonal temperatures. Well, not slightly more seasonal, slightly cooler temperatures, back to seasonal. Around 22 degrees is normal. We might go just beyond that to 23 today. And for the next few days in those low 20s before we get a spike with the mercury rising again for the weekend.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for a question of the day. Today is National Egg Day. So we want to know, how do you like your eggs? Poached, scrambled, over easy, hard-boiled, fried, sunny side up, or soft-boiled? Whatever it is you like, share it with us, please, and let us know your preference. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want to see more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Thanks to everyone who played along with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. There were so many entries, and now it's time to celebrate. Congratulations to the winner of Pay Your Bills, Sandra Kearney. You're taking home an incredible $20,000. That's life-changing money just for playing along. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good morning. Google wants to fight mosquitoes with more mosquitoes. The company's debug program is seeking approval in the U.S. to release up to 32 million non-biting male mosquitoes in Florida and California. The insects carry a naturally occurring bacterium, which prevents them from producing offspring with wild female mosquitoes. Because only males are released, they don't bite or spread disease. This means the population of disease-carrying mosquitoes could shrink over time. The American Environmental Protection Agency is reviewing the permit request. A high-traffic stretch of Corden Avenue is getting some major multi-million-dollar upgrades. The project spans from Shaftesbury Boulevard and Kenniston Boulevard, an important southwest Winnipeg transportation link. The project is a joint effort between Ottawa, the province, and the City of Winnipeg. Some highlights include resurfacing all lanes between Tuxedo Avenue and Kenniston, as well as westbound lanes to Shaftesbury. There will also be additional transit stops, curb bump outs, and a new transit shelter with the goal of improving accessibility and safety. Sewer and water infrastructure will also be getting a refresh, and a new paved multi-use path from Park Boulevard to Kenniston is being put in with the goal of linking multiple area attractions.
We know this street, Corden Avenue, is a critical east-west connection, and for the surrounding neighborhoods and commuters moving through this section of roadway every day, this stretch of Corden is key to the rest of our city. It connects residents to downtown, to Assiniboine Park, to Assiniboine Forest, to local schools, and to local shops. That's why this renewal matters.
Crews began working on the road in late May and is expected to be finished later this year. The project is expected to cost $7.5 million. A three-day festival in Lithuania is celebrating soup.
It was not easy. I was running, but I wasn't first. But I hope that my soup wasn't too much outside, so we will check it right now.
Pink Soup specifically, the Vilnius Pink Soup Fest is focused on celebrating the traditional cold version of borscht. The city has been transformed into a giant pink playground. Events included people racing while holding trays of soup, trying not to spill any. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along Confusion Corner. Things are moving quite well to start off. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
In entertainment, the summer always offers the promise of blockbuster movies, and this year is no different. There's a new Spider-Man movie, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and a new sci-fi movie called The End of Oak Street.
I think that our neighborhood, our house, our whole street has moved.
moved by a mysterious cosmic event to a strange place with dinosaurs. The Twilight Zone type movie stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor and is produced by J.J. Abrams. You can find out what is at the end of Oak Street when it hits theaters on August 14th. Manitoba's largest pet expo is returning. It's a one-stop shop for folks to stock up on pet supplies, learn about training, or even bring home a new pal. More than 2,000 people are expected to stop by the Manitoba Pet Expo on Sunday, June 7th. St. Norbert Community Centre will host more than 85 pet rescues, clubs, and businesses. And yes, you can bring your own pets. More details can be found at manitobapetexpo.com. The Ellis Street Festival returns to the West End this weekend. You can look forward to live music, a community barbecue, vendors, and activities for the kids. There's also an art show and sale presented by Art Beat Studio, featuring the works of low-income, disabled, and inner-city artists. The event runs 5 to 10 p.m. Friday and 11 to 8 Saturday in and around the West End Cultural Centre. The Great Outdoors Comedy Festival is back in just over a month, and organizers are announcing even more talent to the lineup.
There, that one right there. Yeah, with the handle broken off of it, everything sticks to it. It's terrible for cooking. That's the camping frying pan.
Comedian Kelly Taylor joins Lars Caillou and local funny man Jordan Wellwood this year as one of the hosts. The latest additions join an already stacked lineup, including Jim Caffigan, Aziz Ansari, and Jeff Arcuri, to name just a few. The Great Outdoors Comedy Festival runs July 17th to the 19th. Coming up tonight on your primetime lineup, Master Chef starts things off at 7, following at 8, Catch the Floor, and wrapping things up at 9, 3 episodes of The Big Bang Theory. It's all right here tonight on CTV. And then Terry comes in and makes all kinds of noise.
I just dropped my clicker. You know, this thing has done me dirty so many times over the last 15 years. I thought I have 2 weeks left to
Might as well just
give it back
on your way out.
Let's see if it still works, shall we? Actually, that'll be the true test. Who knows? Here's a look outside right now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Those heavy clouds still lingering, but I think we're going to start to see a brighter sky. All of the activity that we saw first thing this morning will be tracking off to the east, and as it does, sky will clear, so some sunshine to come through for us, but we're already waking up to these above seasonal temperatures in the mid to high teens. 9 degrees would be a normal low for this time of year, so all of southern Manitoba is several degrees above that. Central Manitoba is even above that, where the heavier clouds are lingering. Where it's been the coolest this morning, although already starting to warm up, is this most northern stretch of the province. This is actually where it's the clearest too, but you're on the rise already, warming up a degree from where you were last hour. Enjoy that sunshine. You'll be one of the few places that sees it in abundance today. That's that most northern stretch there. Then you can see we're running into the clouds or the precipitation. There was a lot of it last night, lingered into this morning. Now we see it tapering off and moving just off to the east, but even easing as it's tracking out of the way. Some sunshine. Like I said, there will still be some heavier clouds hanging around, but pockets of sunshine that'll warm us up moderately. It's not going to be a scorcher of a day by any means. In fact, just barely getting back to seasonal. 22 degrees normal for this time of year. We might make it to 23 by the time kids are coming home from school. But while we'll have a drier midday with moments of sunshine, storms are expected to roll through again into the evening overnight, or at least some shower activity developing. That could continue into tomorrow. And the next few days, low 20 temperatures before we're feeling those temperatures on the rise with a spike of heat again this weekend. And what a light show it was last night. What a cool picture, too. The Ecole Scott Bateman Middle School from the PA was there at the game, getting this kind of show as well as the Gold Eyes. What a treat for them. Thanks to Jen for the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
June 3rd, 1987. Prime Minister Brian Mulroney and the 10 premiers signed the Meech Lake Constitutional Accord. It called for Quebec to have special status within Canada, plus more powers for the other provinces. But the deal died in June 1990 when the Manitoba legislature failed to approve it within a 3-year time limit. June 3rd, 2016. Boxing legend Muhammad Ali, the heavyweight champion and outspoken civil rights activist whose irrepressible personality and showmanship transcended sports and captivated the world, died after a lengthy battle with Parkinson's disease. He was 74. He was the first man to win heavyweight titles 3 times. June 3rd, 2019. The final report from the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women was released with more than 200 recommendations to the federal government. It called violence against First Nations, Métis, and Inuit women and girls a crisis that had been centuries in the making. The report was formally handed over in a 2-hour ceremony in Gatineau, Quebec. Archaeologists have recovered a collection of treasures from an 18th century shipwreck off Norway's coast. The goods recovered include white and blue Chinese porcelain bowls, goblets, textiles, and parts of chandeliers. The ship was found about 600 meters down off Norway's southwestern coast. Its origin and destination are unknown. The world's highest bridge is making a big difference for the people living nearby. The Huangjiang Grand Canyon Bridge in China is suspended 625 meters above the canyon's floor. Its opening last year has cut a hazardous and winding 2-hour drive through the canyon down to an easy 2-minute-long crossing. With this, it's helped nearby villages connect better with nearby hospitals and schools, as well as giving them access to urban jobs. It's also brought about a tourism boom for them. For all those who play team sports, check out this contest. We're giving away 25 $100 Chicken Chef gift cards, with draws every week from May 25th to July the 17th. Tell us your most memorable fun team moment, attach a picture, and you will be entered into the draw. Kristen shared this photo of her daughter performing at a competition with the Shelley Shear LCM dance team. Your photo can also be featured on our show. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
Coming up, we're going back to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Rehabilitation Center for Children today. We're going to find out more about bike building for special kids. Stay with us. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're learning about adapted bikes and how they make a real difference for some kids. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, and it's not just the physical, but the mental health, the emotional health of the parents as well. Nicole Leclerc's joining me to tell us all about these incredible bikes. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to have you here, show off what we do every day and how we positively impact children's lives.
So how are you connecting families with these pieces of equipment?
Yeah, so we have people coming, so parents can refer themselves to our program. We also have other community therapists, doctors reaching out to say, hey, a child might benefit from a bike.
It's not just a bike, it really is independence. Tell us about how it can change people's lives.
So there's many benefits about riding a bike. It could be joint range of motion, strength for our legs, our core. It can also be endurance, so cardiovascular endurance, making sure your heart, your lungs are healthy. But most importantly, it's about inclusion into the community, also participation with friends and family. And there's nothing better than seeing a child getting on the bike for the first time and seeing their face light up, big smile.
Oh, it doesn't matter the child. It's the best. And for the parents, what does it do for them when it comes to independence and simply that joy that you just mentioned?
It allows them to really feel like their child can participate in anything, be part of their friends, get in trouble with their friends, that kind of thing. Yeah. So really what we want to do is allow children to achieve their fullest potential. And one way to do that has been the generous donations of Winnipeggers, Manitobans, people across Canada to help really allow the children to achieve their fullest potential.
Well, that leads into my next question perfectly, because you have a big fundraiser coming up, celebrating 30 years on Sunday. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Cruising to Change Lives, I've been to it a few times. It's a lot of fun. We have kids, families, grandparents, everyone, their dogs that come out. We really just are celebrating the children, being able to move, have fun, and it's a great time. So if you have the opportunity, please come out, help support in any way possible.
Nicole, thank you so much. How could you not want to support a cause like this? We'll have a link on our website with more details.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. And if we look outside today, we're going to get a little bit of a break from that rain.
Yeah, we will. It's already tapered off for the most part. We're also going to get a little bit of a break from the heat. I'm not loving that, but listen, we get what we get, and I know a lot of people will be happier to have some slightly cooler, more seasonal temperatures throughout the day today. It's 17 degrees, so we're actually still well above normal to kick things off. 9 would be that seasonal low. There's been some showers. For the most part, they're tapering off, maybe still showing up in some parts of the city yet, and still a little bit of a breeze, which should be tapering somewhat. It's out of the south-southeast, 27 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity at 91%. Yeah, it is a little bit muggy and humid out there. Was soggy. The bulk of that has moved off. You can see there's still just a little bit of lingering activity right in and around the Winnipeg area, but most of that has pushed off to the east. There's still lightning bolts firing off in some parts of the province. You're going to notice them there. So still some more active weather, but they're much smaller cells or little pockets of precipitation as opposed to the massive storms that rolled through last night. We could be seeing more storms again later on today. I don't think it's going to be quite as intense as yesterday evening was, but still that possibility late into the afternoon or around evening time that some showers or thunderstorms develop once again. I mentioned the cooler temperatures. 23 degrees is our expected high for today. 22 is normal, so we're kind of back in that zone for the daytime highs, but our overnight lows will still be above what you would expect. 9 being that seasonal low, and we're dropping only to 14 degrees tonight with a southwest wind at about 15 clicks. Tomorrow a little bit cooler and still that chance of showers. We will start to see a little more sunshine later on into the week, and for the weekend, not just sunshine, the temperatures on the rise. That heat is coming back, but the storms could be coming back too.
Thank you, Terry. A warning now, the following story may be upsetting to some viewers. A 12-year-old boy from Opaskwayak Cree Nation is charged after police say a graphic video showing animal abuse circulated in a youth group chat. Manitoba First Nations police say they were made aware of the video on May 30th. Police say it depicted a male youth using an axe to strike numerous dogs, leading to at least one being killed. Investigators identified the youth in the video. The 12-year-old was arrested and charged with causing animals unnecessary suffering. Police say the investigation continues and more charges are expected. More than a dozen wildfires have sparked up across the province in the past 48 hours. 5 of the fires are in the far north in the region surrounding Tuduli Lake and are being monitored. 3 northeast of Flin Flon and the Pas are considered out of control. They range in size from 15 to 280 hectares. 3 more are in eastern Manitoba and are also being monitored. 2 fires are burning out of control west of Lac du Bonheur. They were reported Sunday. Reeve Lauren Schinkel says water bombers and helicopters are being used to suppress them.
We had our fire department went out last night on value protection, and there's 2 properties dependent on what happens with where the fire is going to end up. There's 2 properties that could be impacted, so they were outfitted with sprinkler systems. And there's been no evacuations yet, but at the end of the day, we're just taking a precautionary measure.
The most recent provincial data shows nearly 30 wildfires in Manitoba right now. 5 are considered out of control. New this morning, the U.S. is now proposing new tariffs on a number of countries, including Canada. This is all over forced labor concerns. A report released by the U.S. Trade Representative says Canada, Mexico, Taiwan, and the U.K. are just some of the countries that could face a 10% additional tariff for allegedly not doing enough to prevent imports made with forced labor. It's something the Trump administration says creates an unlevel playing field for American workers. A 12.5% additional tariff would be imposed on China, Japan, India, South Korea, Switzerland, and dozens of other countries. The new tariffs are subject to public comment and review before taking effect. This comes ahead of the expiration of a 10% temporary tariff introduced after the Supreme Court struck down U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping import duties in February. At least 4 people were hurt in a bear attack in northeastern Japan. Security video shows the bear chasing a worker, then throwing him on the ground. This happened in a mixed business and residential compound at Fukushima Steelworks. After knocking down that worker, the bear then ran into a building and injured 2 more people. A 4th person was hurt when the bear went into another factory. The bear is believed to still be in that factory. Schools nearby are closed this morning, and police have declared a local emergency. The head of NATO is in Ukraine this morning for an unannounced visit. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, along with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, took part in a ceremony honoring fallen Ukrainian soldiers. Ukraine this morning says it attacked an oil terminal in St. Petersburg. Russian President Vladimir Putin is hosting an economic forum in the city today. The squads are set for all 48 countries taking part in this summer's FIFA World Cup. The deadline was yesterday for teams to submit their final squads, meaning we now know each of the 1,248 players representing their countries this summer. If there are any last-minute injuries, teams can replace them with leftover players from their provisional squad lists submitted last month. 4 of the players named to squads at this World Cup, by the way, were also among the more than 700 to play in the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. This may be the last World Cup for 4 legends: Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo, Argentina's Lionel Messi, Croatia's Luka Modric, and Mexican goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa. But you never know. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. On William Newton Avenue, the westbound curb lane will be closed between Watt and Stadacona Street. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Donald Street will be closed from Portage to St. Mary Avenue, and the westbound curb lane on William Avenue will be closed from Main to King Street. Here's a look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.60. It's a small drop from yesterday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Taking a look outside right now, we're sitting at 17 degrees and there's still some rain in some parts of the city. We're taking a break. We'll be right back after this.
"17 degrees and starting to see some sunlight off in the distance, but you can also still see those rain drags from the bottoms of those clouds where the sun is shining through. Those winds, they've eased the main wind, the steady wind, but it's still gusting to 33 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 89%. Still a little bit of lingering precipitation, and you can certainly see that. That's why we're seeing off to the east those rain drags from the clouds, because it is still very active in areas to the east. But even some little, I was pointing out earlier, there's a lightning bolt, there's a lightning bolt. You get a lightning bolt. There's just little pockets of precipitation still lingering around the province, and much of central Manitoba will see that throughout the day today. The furthest that you go into the north, that's where the sun is going to be shining, warming you up to 13 degrees in Churchill. What a lovely, beautiful day. Other places with the heavier clouds and the precipitation, you're in for cooler temperatures than what we've been experiencing as of late. But yeah, sunshine and 17 degrees up in Lynn Lake sounds pretty pleasant. Otherwise, those low to mid-teens with the heavier clouds. And yes, the scattered precipitation. Listen, we needed the rain, and we certainly saw a lot of it. A lot more actually fell through parts of the southwest yesterday evening. Very active. I think in around the Manitou area, you were in excess of 40 millimeters, up to 50 millimeters in the Morden Winkler area. So that was just from last night, and there's still been a little bit this morning and a little bit more expected into the afternoon again. So we'll see, even if it tapers off and we see some sunshine through midday, some showers or thunderstorms picking up again by evening time. These more seasonal temperatures, we'll experience them for the next few days in the low 20s. 22 is normal for this time of year. So up until the end of the week, we're in the low 20s, but then suddenly back in the high 20s or even those low 30s as we're wrapping up the weekend, and wrapping up the weekend with the storm activity that'll continue into the start of next week.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about the Children's Rehab Foundation and the important work they do there, especially when it comes to providing some specialized bikes. Hi.
Hi, good morning. It's been great to spend time with these bikes, even just to see the intricacies of them. The executive director is joining me now, Jane Kidhancher. Thank you for being here today. You've got some big events coming up, specifically one on Sunday.
Yes, so it's the 30th anniversary of Cruisin' to Change Lives, which is our hallmark fundraiser for Children's Rehabilitation Foundation, which supports the Rehabilitation Center for Children, where we are today, and all the amazing work they do for kids in our province.
Mm-hmm. Great for families, too. They can walk, run, wheel, whatever they want to do, but it's getting people together.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's about building community, and of course the bikes that we're focusing on today are a huge part of it, and people coming out in droves with them. Last year we had 500 participants, and we're hoping for that amount or more, but it's really just the main message is that it's all about raising awareness and funding so that we can continue to do and support the things that the Rehabilitation Center for Children needs to make these families' lives the best that they possibly can be.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly. Funding. If someone doesn't want to go to the event or they're not available that day, hey, they can still donate. How about that? There's other ways to support too. You wanted to plug something.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that I get in our website. It's really easy. It's crf.mb.ca, and if you go there, you will be able to see information about Cruising to Change Lives. But also, the reason we asked you here today is it's World Bike Day, as you've been talking about all morning, and we have another campaign that runs in the spring, 25 bikes, and it's really what it sounds like. We're trying to raise enough money to fund 25 bikes for kids in our province who are on our lengthy wait list. So if people want to support that, they support cruising, again, go to crf.mb.ca and know that you are truly changing lives.
Mm-hmm. Anecdotally, what are the faces of the families? What does it look like when they get those bikes?
It's indescribable, really. I've done so many of them in the last 5 years. Everyone is different and unique, and I walk away feeling humbled, honored, privileged to be a part of it, and just then to see their faces, the children, families, and the donors who make it possible. It's really hard to put into true words, but it is something to be seen and something to be remembered and reflected upon, that together we're doing that for families who otherwise wouldn't have it be possible.
Mm-hmm. Before we're out of time, quickly, you wanted to plug the website one more time. You really want people to donate. We have a link on our website as well, and it's on your screen.
Thank you, Ainsley. Following a crackdown on auto theft, the number of vehicles stolen across Canada last year dropped by 18% over the year before. While progress is being made, there were still 47,000 thefts reported in 2025, which continues to put pressure on car insurance premiums. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
The 2024 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro is a nice truck, and Bart Keller of Alliston is frustrated that his pickup was almost stolen again for the second time. Along with the latest in security equipment, he also has video cameras installed inside the truck.
I have the immobilizer, the dash cam set up. I have a tag system on it. I pretty much protected myself as much as I can.
The first time the vehicle was almost stolen was from his driveway. His camera caught thieves as they used a grinder to cut through a steering wheel lock. Because Keller uses an immobilizer, the thieves were unable to steal his truck. Eventually, they gave up and left.
When they did that, the sparks went everywhere inside the car, you know, the windshield, the roof. So there was quite a bit of damage done there.
Last month, while he was at the movies, thieves tried again to steal his vehicle. They broke windows and used a hacksaw.
They cut through the steering wheel, and it's a bit of a problem because it's a very expensive steering wheel with the airbag and everything attached and all the media on it.
Eventually, the thieves also became frustrated by the immobilizer and left, but Keller's video clearly shows one of the suspects. He handed over the video to Peel Police, and 2 days later, an arrest was made.
I'm really happy to hear that they've been apprehended and charges are pending.
A police spokesman said they couldn't comment as the case is before the courts. Keller says even though his truck was not stolen, the vandalism and damage caused still requires thousands of dollars in repairs.
I just hope this doesn't keep happening. We need change. We need to stop this.
Keller recommends investing in security equipment to prevent your vehicle from being stolen.
Now, I want consumers to protect themselves. Get yourself an immobilizer. Get yourself those extra little add-ons, because I've seen my vehicle twice already.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
There's a new piece of tech to help people grow food right at home. This smart farm allows growing indoors. The system automates lighting, temperature, and watering. All the owner has to do is provide the seeds and the fertilizer. Next thing you know, you have all the ingredients for a delicious microgreen salad. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 50th birthday, Jeremy, with lots of love from your family. Happy 66th birthday, Benson, with love from your Chartrand family. Happy 10th birthday, Aspen. Love Mom, Dad, Holt, and Wolfie. And a happy 93rd birthday to Martin, Love, Blair, and Jamie. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
All right, today is going to be a little bit cooler than what we've been experiencing, but a lot closer to what would be normal for this time of year. 23 degrees, while 22 is that seasonal daytime high. That's what we got to yesterday, although all the way back in 23, all the way 3 years ago. That's when we shattered the record, was 2023 of 33 degrees. So it was a warm one then, and we've experienced that kind of heat so far this year. And that kind of heat could be coming back again. Maybe not quite as intense, but we could be back up into those high 20s and low 30s for the weekend. But we get a break from the heat for the next few days with the more seasonal temperatures, although we're well above normal to kick things off. 17 degrees right now. Heavier clouds. The rain has tapered off. I'm out here sans umbrella, and I didn't even bother with the rain jacket. That's no longer needed at this point, but keep those items close at hand. You may need them later today. There's a bit of a breeze. It's out of the south. It's gusting to 33 kilometers per hour. The heavier clouds that are lingering now will likely clear, and that bit of a breeze still from the morning will likely taper off. So through midday, winds easing, sky clearing, some sunshine. Yeah, we might only get to seasonal temperatures, but that's around 23 degrees. Still, it's not a cold day. It's just seasonal. But then that possibility of seeing showers or thunderstorms picking up again later this afternoon and continuing through the evening overnight. So very active weather still to come. A little bit of a break midday.
A new book is not only exploring well-known buildings in Manitoba, but also the architect behind them. Winnipeg architect John D. Aitchison may not be well known today, but he's designed hundreds of buildings around North America, and 55 of his buildings in Manitoba, well, 54 are still being used and 55 are being celebrated today. The new book is examining his life and his work. It's titled John D. Aitchison, Architect, His Works and Times. Joining us now is the author of that book, Gail Perry. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Such a pleasure.
So 55 buildings still standing, only 54 are in use, so that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
But there's only one outside of Winnipeg.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about who John D. Aitchison was.
Well, he was an Illinois-born, Chicago-trained architect who came to Winnipeg in 1905, stayed here until 1923, so just in 18 years, and pretty much transformed what our downtown looks like. It still looks much like that today. And also many landmarks in neighborhoods, places that you would know at major intersections that you pass by in your car or on foot.
And why do you think he even came here in the first place? What brought him here?
Well, Winnipeg was really booming at the time. He was successful already in Chicago, so he really took a risk. He moved a young family. He had 2 little girls and his wife. He was 35 years old. He didn't have to come, but Winnipeg in 1905 had so much money being injected into it from London, England. It was the opening of the West. It was that last place where everything opened up.
Right.
And so there was a lot of building here.
They called it the Chicago of the North, right? And if you look at many of our buildings and many that he has designed, they have that Chicago-like influence. Tell us a little bit about what his designs were well known for.
Well, he brought from Chicago steel frame construction. I mean, we already had a couple of buildings of that type, but he studied under a man who was called the father of the skyscraper. The first skyscraper was attributed to the man he worked under, William LeBaron Jenney. So, I mean, that's really close to architectural royalty.
Wow.
As well, he was very practiced in terracotta, which is that lovely building cladding that we see in a lot of our buildings. It almost looks like porcelain or china, and it's very ornate and lovely. So there were also styles like the Chicago School of Architecture style that he brought to Winnipeg. So that's why Winnipeg largely looks like Chicago.
That is so cool. Okay, so we're looking at images right now. Tell us about this building we're seeing here.
Okay, well, this is his one building outside of Winnipeg. That was the Emerson Courthouse.
And what about this one?
This is a detail of the Union Bank building just north of the Richardson building, and that's terracotta. So there you see, that was manufactured in Chicago. The former Manitoba School for the Deaf, which is now part of the Canadian Mennonite University on Shaftesbury. So that's collegiate Gothic, so it looks almost like something from Harry Potter, right?
Right.
Yeah, oh, now this is from Chicago.
Okay.
But you can see the influence. You'll see that this looks very much like the Wardlaw or the Wardlow apartments, which he built about 3 years later. Now we've got the interior of the CMU. So you can just see the craftsmanship, the glazed tiles, the barreled roof. That's the Union Trust building.
I love this building so much. It's so many details when you drive by that you might not notice the next time you drive by. It's such a beautiful building. What do you want people to know about this book and where they can find it?
Well, first of all, I want them to know that there is this person named John D. Atchison. Just like we know our hockey players and our rock stars, we should know our architects.
Yeah.
The book is available at booksellers and also at the publishers, which is Winnipeg Architecture Foundation. You know, that's a nonprofit organization that has now just published with this book its 24th publication.
30 years they're celebrating as well, right?
Yes, so it's in a very short period of time, and they do it all on grants. There's nothing guaranteed to them, so it's donations by people, grants that they vie for, and volunteer work.
It is a beautiful book to leaf through. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And of course, you are launching this book at McNally Robinson on Saturday, and everyone is welcome to attend and check it out for themselves.
Yes, 7 o'clock.
Okay, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, Jermaine Franklin here inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday, and for it, we're heading to Raleigh, North Carolina. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final just moments after the opening faceoff. Shea Theodore can't keep the puck in, and Nick Ehlers takes full advantage, keeps on the 2-on-1, and snipes his first of 2 goals in the opening frame. After so many years of playoff disappointment in Winnipeg, the former Jet scores the 3rd fastest goal to open a Cup Final just 25 seconds into his first Cup Final game. Definitely worth your must-see moment. And with that, Game 1 in the books. It's the association's turn to take center stage tonight. Game 1 of the finals begins. Wemby and the upstart Spurs hosting Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern on TSN 3 and 4. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Wednesday, June 3rd. Today, long-term care, how WRHA and Shared Health are reviewing personal care homes to plan future care needs. Plus, hotel expropriation. Kenora moves to take over an historic downtown hotel after tribunal ruling. And Game 1 thriller, how Vegas struck late to steal a 5-4 win in a wild Stanley Cup Final opener. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, a little later, we're going to tell you about an Angus Reid poll that was released yesterday talking about data centers and how Canadians really do not, the majority of Canadians do not want data centers in their neighborhoods, even though they understand that we need to be technologically ready for change, of course. But in Manitoba, it was actually above the national average when it came to people not wanting data centers in their communities. So we're going to find out.
We don't like change.
We don't like change here. So we're going to find out a little bit more on why that's happening here in this province, as well as the need for data centers in the country. But let's talk about the weather, of course. The rain, my garden was super happy yesterday.
Yeah, the plants needed it. Listen, the farmers needed it, my goodness. And my flowers on the rooftop are looking so gorgeous too. You can still see those drags in the clouds with the rain off to the distance there. As we're looking off to the east, you'll see it on the satellite image too. Maybe it just be green globs on the satellite image, but a gray sky as we look out. 17 degrees with a south wind that's gusting to 33 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 89%. So yes, those green gobs on the satellite image is all of the precipitation. We had the yellow, orange, or even red gobs earlier on this morning. It was far more active. Those storms last night, in fact, were pretty intense. And now we're just seeing it tapering off and pushing off to the east. We'll even get to see a little bit of clearing behind it. So through the middle part of the day, maybe even some breaks in those clouds, but there still will be fairly active weather in some parts of the province through southwestern Manitoba, central Manitoba. Farthest up into the north is where things will be the clearest or the brightest today, enjoying all of that sunshine along that most northern border. And while we might enjoy some moments of sunshine through midday, here I stopped it into the evening time, and there's another round of precipitation to come. Likely timed for evening overnight, and then back to some sunshine again tomorrow, at least first thing in the morning. Central Manitoba will deal with that morning precipitation, but we have the possibility still of some afternoon showers for tomorrow and some cooler temperatures for today, and to finish off the rest of this week with the heat up coming again for the weekend. So for those of you that love the heat, it will be perfectly timed out for you to hit the beach perhaps on Saturday. Some active weather could be moving in on Sunday and continuing then on into the start of next week. Elizabeth, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful picture of your home, and we'd love to see more of your artwork. So please send it through our website at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
A teenage boy from Winnipeg is dead following a crash west of Kenora earlier Tuesday. Ontario provincial police officers and other emergency personnel responded to reports of a crash on Highway 17 near Rush Bay around 1:45 Tuesday afternoon. Police say a tractor-trailer unit and a passenger vehicle collided on the highway. A 17-year-old male from Winnipeg was pronounced dead at the scene. A stretch of the highway was closed for several hours while police investigated. Any witnesses or those who may have dashcam video from the area are asked to contact the OPP or Crime Stoppers. Providing the most appropriate support and care to the right person at the right time. That's the stated goal for long-term care under the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. Now, the WRHA says it wants to make sure it can keep doing that both now and in the future. That comes as the WRHA, with Shared Health, reviews personal care homes across Winnipeg.
This is not the first facility my husband's been in, but this is the best that he's been in. The staff that are here are so incredible.
Dorothy Burr visits Deer Lodge Center in St. James about 4 to 5 times a week. Her husband has lived there for 8 years. She says there's still room for improvement, especially staffing.
They definitely need more staff. I mean, they're overworked, and I see it because I'm here so often. I see how tired they are, how cheerful they try to stay.
The WRHA with Shared Health has issued a request for proposals to hire a consultant to review personal care homes. In a statement, Shared Health writes in part, there will be 2 assessments, a functional review of care and services, and a technical review of buildings and systems to assess future investment needs. The consultant will also be tasked with looking at bed capacity in personal care homes to ensure the city has the capacity it needs over the next 30 years. Prime Minister Mark Carney says there is weakness in our country's economy, but he isn't calling it a recession.
The data is going to be uneven, and we see some weakness, in part because of clear decisions by the government. So we have taken back control of immigration. That's meant the population growth has flattened.
That was Prime Minister Carney's first comment on the issue since StatsCan released new GDP data on Friday. It showed the economy shrank slightly for 2 straight quarters, meeting the technical definition of a recession. Prime Minister Carney also said the foundation is being laid right now for a stronger economy. CBS News has fired longtime 60 Minutes correspondent Scott Pelley. Pelley was let go after a tense meeting with his bosses at CBS News. A day earlier, Pelley criticized management at a staff-wide meeting in which he accused editor Barry Weiss of murdering 60 Minutes. CBS made wholesale changes to the show last week, including bringing in a new executive producer. The 59th season of 60 Minutes starts this fall. The city of Kenora is moving ahead with the expropriation of an historic downtown hotel.
We would like to see the appropriate level of investment to bring an amazing heritage building back to its former glory.
Friday, the town's council approved a motion to continue with the seizure of the Kenrichia Hotel. It follows a ruling in April by the Ontario Land Tribunal, which determined the city is entitled to pursue the property to revitalize the site. The hotel opened in 1910, and a walkthrough 3 years ago revealed large portions of the space were in disrepair. Attempts to find new developers to work with the owners have been unsuccessful. The city will now be able to request proposals for the site.
The goal would be to go to market and attempt to attract developers that have a vision and the financial capability and the experience to do what they say that they're going to do.
Only around 70% of the building is currently in use. Long-term stay guests will be required to leave the property during construction. A late goal gave the Golden Knights the early lead in the Stanley Cup final.
3.5 to go. Hurdle into the dot to Sissons. Back for Hurdle. He scores!
Thomas Hurdle scored late in the third to break a 4-all tie and give the Knights the 5-4 win. Carolina is coming into the final after 4 straight wins over the Habs. Vegas, meantime, has now won 7 straight games. Game 2 goes tomorrow with puck drop at 7 p.m. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic on Osborne Street. It looks like southbound has slowed up a little bit, but overall we haven't heard any issues on what might be causing some of these delays. If you see anything out there, please let us know. Send us a text.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We've been talking about adapted bikes throughout the morning and the impact it makes for children and the real difference in their lives. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. You're going to meet the sweetest little girl in just a moment's time, Ava. Her parents are joining me now. Mom, Catherine Victoria. Tell us a little bit about Ava.
Yeah, so Ava is a 3-year-old child. She's very happy, and she loves music and she loves dancing, and she's this year's ambassador for the Children's Rehabilitation Foundation.
I know she loves music and dancing because I was trying to teach her the chicken dance earlier, and it looked like she really liked it. When it comes to the bike, tell us about how it increases her motor skills.
Yeah, so with the bike, it fully supports her to be able to pedal on her own. She has the supports to be able to balance, and it allows her to push at her own speed, pedal at her own speed, and yeah, it allows her for fun as well. So it's fun and exercise and therapy at the same, all in one.
No doubt. And have you noticed improvements too?
Oh yeah, she has stronger trunk control, and her legs are stronger because she's been pedaling on the bike. Since it got warmer outside, we've been going on walks. So yeah, her legs are getting stronger with her on the bike.
And so many people are going to be coming to this event, right? What does it mean to you and your family to have Ava as the ambassador?
Oh yeah, it's such an honor for her to be an ambassador. The Children's Rehabilitation Foundation and Rehabilitation Center for Children has supported Ava and our family in so many ways. We're so genuinely thankful for all the supports that they've provided for Ava and the positive impact that it's had on her development. So we're just so thankful and we're so honored.
And you know what? She looks kind of serious right now, but truly I know she's not. Okay, she's just mean mugging for the camera. But tell us a little bit about just her spirit and how she is as a young mobile girl moving around in that thing.
Yeah, Ava is such a joy. She lights up the room wherever she is. She loves to joke around. She plays her little tricks, and she loves to dance and sing, and yeah, she just loves making people happy and making people laugh.
I knew I would get you. We'll do the chicken dance later. Okay, you can support folks just like Ava on Sunday. I hope you donate.
I saw Ava smile. Thank you, Ainsley. Thanks to everyone who played along with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. There were so many entries, and now it's time to celebrate. Congratulations to the winner of Pay Your Bills, Sandra Kearney. You're taking home an incredible $20,000. That's life-changing money just for playing along. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. All right,
Sandra.
Yes, 20 grand. Woo! That's a good start to the summer when it gets here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no kidding. What would you do? I'd retire. Here's a look outside this morning through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. The sky, well, we're not seeing that shower activity right in the downtown area, but you could still see off to the east that activity is still very present. Some showers still continuing further off to that east, but is not the only place in the province seeing some of that. However, these above seasonal temperatures, everybody is experiencing that, with 9 degrees being a normal low. We're starting out in these high teens through the south, mid-teens through central Manitoba. The PAH coming in at the single digits, as is much of northern Manitoba, but actually the clearest conditions are in this most northern stretch. Look at Churchill, 10 degrees already with sun shining over you. It's going to be a beautiful day across that most northern border there. You can see just how clear it is, but it's really just that most northern stretch. And then the heavier clouds with some scattered precipitation, still seeing a few of these lightning bolts firing off through there, and the more active weather off to the east of us, although what was very active has eased as it continues to push further to the east. We'll enjoy some pockets of sunshine through the day today. Temperatures cooler than they've been, but close to what is normal. 22 degrees seasonal, and we'll get up to about 23 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school later this afternoon. But then later into the afternoon, or more so into the evening time, the chance for precipitation picking up once again. So we could see some showers or thunderstorms developing into the evening time, and still have the possibility of some showers tomorrow, with some slightly cooler temperatures to finish off this week, or back to what is normal for this time of year. And then the heat comes back as well, and some storms could come along with it as we're looking to wrap up the weekend and continue into next week. Taking a break, we'll see you soon.
The Greater Toronto Area marked its third straight month of higher home sales compared with a year earlier. As the city's real estate board says, the market tightened in May. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says the average selling price was down 4.6% year over year to $1,069,000, and the composite benchmark price, meant to represent the typical home, was down 6.7%. U.S. stocks are struggling to build on record gains as growing strains on the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran has sent oil prices higher for a third straight day. The cautious mood follows flare-ups in the Middle East that are testing a fragile truce between Washington and Tehran. As talks between the parties dragged on, President Donald Trump has said Iran has agreed it won't have a nuclear weapon. SpaceX aims to sell 555 million shares at $135 apiece for its record-breaking $75 billion initial public offering, Reuters is reporting, citing an unidentified person familiar with the matter. The report indicates SpaceX is breaking from the traditional IPO process, whereby companies typically announce a price range before marketing the shares during investor roadshows. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
A new Angus Reid poll shows 2/3 of Canadians want to see artificial intelligence heavily regulated in this country, and Canadians are also apprehensive about the construction and impact of AI data centers around the country, agreeing they're necessary to keep up with technology. But 68% of them don't support having one in their community. Here in Manitoba, it's higher than the national average. According to the poll, 72% of Manitobans don't want data centers built here. Joining us now with more on this is the head of U of M's computer science program, David Gerhard. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Now, are you surprised by the findings of this poll?
I'm not actually very surprised by these findings. I think there's a really clear change in the sentiment of the public regarding artificial intelligence today. In the early days of this technology, people were very excited, but today people are very apprehensive. There's a lot of uncertainty about the economic benefits of these tools, as well as the environmental and societal impacts.
Okay, so what do data centers do exactly, and why are they so controversial?
So we've had data centers for decades. Data centers are the backbone for all of the internet technology that we use every day. AI data centers are different, but not a lot different. They're a different kind of computer that's in there, but mostly it's about scope. They're very large, and they're needed to support the massive collection of data, processing of data that supports these artificial intelligence tools. They have a big impact on the environment. They need water for cooling and electricity to run these things, and based on the different locations that they might be in, those kind of impacts may be different, right? In the southern United States, water regulations are different than here. Groundwater or closed loop is more likely for cooling, but still lots of environmental impact of these tools.
Okay, and there is a proposal to build a data center near the community of Ile-des-Chênes here in Manitoba, but there's an online petition fighting its construction. As of this morning, there are more than 13,000 signatures on that petition. What are your thoughts on that?
The Angus Reid survey that we were just talking about shows that almost half of the population agrees that AI data centers are going to be necessary for maintaining Canadian control over the technologies that are going to lead us into the future. The challenge is where to build them, if to build them, and how. And so this resistance is not a surprise. People are very uncertain about this technology. The big challenge is trust, right? We're not sure that these technologies are going to be used to serve the population in the way that we think they should.
And so we know there's a need for data centers. So what's the best solution here to put people's fears to rest?
Yeah, I think regulation, I think, is going to be the biggest thing. Again, with the survey, lots and lots of people agree that regulation is the key. Regulation drives trust. Trust opens up the conversation, and that means that we have possibly less resistance to these data centers. Perhaps these data centers need to be in less populated areas. Maybe they need to be in the far north or in places where other kinds of communities might benefit economically. But the consultation with the local communities is the key part to drive that trust.
Now, a lot of Canadians think regulation is a great idea, but the technology is changing so quickly. Can regulation follow along with those changes?
Well, another question that the Angus Reid survey asked was whether any government could actually keep up with the regulations, and 3/4 of the respondents said no, they doubt that any government could actually keep pace with AI. But still, we want governments to try. We want governments to try to put in expectations in place so that we know what the rules are, right? What's an okay use of AI? What's not an okay use of AI? So that people can build trust, and so that the kind of products that companies are building with these tools can find a market in the people who might actually end up using them.
David, thank you so much for your perspective. We always appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right, I haven't needed the umbrella for at least an hour now. Heavier clouds still hanging above. I'm seeing pockets of sunshine, but when we were looking out through some of those camera views, you can still see the showers off to the distance. That's where there is still some activity, is further to the east of us, and that could continue over the course of the morning, but there's more around the province through central and northern Manitoba that will be off and on throughout the day today. It's above seasonal, 18 degrees. With these heavy clouds, even the lack of sunshine, we're still well above normal. Wind has eased almost entirely now. It's out of the south-southeast, just 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, humidity sitting at 86%. Now, eventually, we will start to see increasing amounts of sunshine. In fact, it's already looking a little bit brighter off to the west right now. And with that sunshine, we'll still get up to seasonal temperatures today in the low 20s, so a break from the intense heat that we've been experiencing over the past week or so, or what's coming back again for the weekend. The next few days will be in the low 20s, off and on scattered showers. We could see more of that shower or thunderstorm activity developing again later into the afternoon, evening time, and then continuing overnight, and still some scattered showers tomorrow. We'll finish off this week in the low 20s, but spike up back into those high 20s or low 30s as we're looking ahead to the weekend. And speaking of storms, last night, what a show. A Cole Scott Bateman Middle School from the PAW was at the Gold Eyes game last night, and this is part of what they saw. Thanks to Jennifer for sharing the photo, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
If you're into techno, house, or electronic music, those sounds are about to fill the city's Exchange District for a free music and digital arts festival. It's called the Manitoba Electronic Music Exhibition, or MEME. It starts tomorrow and runs until Saturday at a few different venues. And joining us now is the director of Memetic, Nathan Zan. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this has been around for a while, this festival. Tell us a little bit about how it all began and how it's evolved over the years.
Right, so this is the 17th edition of the festival. So we do the free events at Old Market Square.
Yep.
We were the very first public event there, so it kind of worked out for us because it suits our electronic music scene, the Cube lit up at night. It's also our 30-year anniversary of Symptom Technologies, which is our original production company. So we've done it for a long time. Free at the Cube, and we have 3 ticketed events this year as well too. So yeah.
And it's getting bigger every year, it seems, too. More people.
It really has. You know, it's funny. We're you know, a bit of an underground scene, but we kind of cross between, you know, it's a party, it's an arts festival. We do workshops, and we're really excited this year. It looks to be our biggest year yet.
And what's great about it is you're sort of celebrating the underground music, the not so commercial music as well, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, what is underground music, right? But it's just more cutting edge, experimental. I mean, it is a party, but we do try to promote new sounds and stuff that you might not hear on the radio.
Okay, so describe the sound that people can expect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole range of things. It's techno, electro, breaks, acid house. It's just stuff that's maybe a bit more challenging, but it is fun, you know, so we do a range of stuff. I mean, disco and electro, so it's sort of it's a combination of familiar sounds, but we always try to find stuff that, again, is unfamiliar to people and try to get audiences to hear new sounds.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about AI and this type of music, because that is something you're going to be chatting about during workshops. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right, so your previous piece. So we're doing a workshop on Thursday at the Graffiti Gallery, and it's going to be looking at AI and its impact on music and art and creativity. So it'll be sort of a conversation and a bit of a debate. There's huge problems there. There's some interesting tools there, of course. So that's our opening event at the Graffiti Gallery.
Okay, and what other workshops?
So that's it this year. Friday we're at the Warehouse, 5 Sutherland. It's a beautiful space, indoor-outdoor space with food trucks, a vendor market. We're going to be doing projection visuals on the side of the building. And then Saturday, Old Market Square. It's free, it's family-friendly, so that's 1 p.m. till midnight.
Okay.
And then we're at the Pyramid Cabaret Saturday night going late.
And what artists are coming for this?
Yeah, so you know, in our world, we've had people here from all over the world. We love bringing people to Winnipeg, artists who've seen it all, played everywhere, and they come here for their first time and they see the Exchange, this beautiful neighborhood, the Cube, and they have such a great impression of Winnipeg, sometimes first impression of Canada. So for us, this year we've got people mostly from Canada, from west to east, from Toronto. We've got Demo, we've got Jaxopolis from Edmonton, we've got Overland from Vancouver. So names that are big in our scene, but maybe not well known, but they've all traveled the world and played everywhere. So it's really it's a big deal in our scene to do this.
Okay, so if somebody wants information on how to get their hands on tickets, where should they go?
So we are mimetic.ca. We're on Instagram under Mimetic. Yeah.
And we, of course, have a link on our website as well. Thank you for this.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, we have a traffic alert to tell you about. A stalled vehicle is blocking the northbound median lane on Century approaching Silver, and there's a stall blocking the southbound median lane on Kenniston past Academy. So be mindful of that when you head out this morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Look outside at some heavy clouds still hanging around. It's 18 degrees, but the breeze is light out of the south-southeast to 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, humidity at 86%. Most of the rain has passed. There you can see it on the satellite image, still moving in areas off to the east of us with some scattered shower or thunderstorm activity still popping up in areas through southern and central Manitoba. We're now likely to see these clouds clearing out, making way for a little more sunshine throughout the day today. I hope for those of you that were present at the start of the show at 6 a.m., you made note, like I asked you to, of my lovely curls, and I told you it wasn't going to last. What a waste. If you were still thinking of leaving the house today, the humidity is high. Don't bother with the hair. It's just one of those days. 23 degrees, that's where we're headed today. So it's not going to be that hot day that you would expect the hair to look like this. It's just going to be back to what is normal for this time of year. 22 degrees being that seasonal daytime high. So we'll be just in that zone throughout the daytime, but our overnight temperatures are actually going to remain well above seasonal. So 9 would be a normal low. We'll drop to about 14, but shower or thunderstorm activity developing again into the latter part of the day, and that could continue into the evening overnight. Winds, they've tapered off for now. They might increase again tonight. Tomorrow, those winds will be shifting out of the northwest. Still the slightly cooler temperatures, or seasonal, and that possibility of shower activity. In fact, we're going to finish off this week with the more seasonal temperatures in that 20-degree range, but a spike with the mercury coming back again, perfectly timed out for the weekend. Sunshine to kick things off on Saturday, plenty of heat, still sticking around with the heat on Sunday, but some storms could be rolling in by the end of the weekend, and we'll see that activity continuing into next week.
Now to some good news for Omens Creek. The city says it's one step closer to building a new pedestrian bridge. Flooding, steep pathways, and usability are concerns for folks accessing the aging infrastructure at Oman Park. The city says it's time for a new bridge, but what it'll look like isn't set in stone yet. First Public Works wants to hear what you think of the plans.
We're also adding things like a formal fishing spot on the east or the west side, of the bridge, and a gathering spot or an outdoor classroom on the east side of the bridge. And we're also doing improvements to the toboggan hill, such as adding additional benches so that it's even more inviting than it already is.
Another pop-up is happening June 9th at the Wolseley Farmers Market. The online survey is open until June 14th at engage.winnipeg.ca. A thrift store in Morden is winning over the community while helping dozens of local organizations at the same time.
We built this track so kids could come and enjoy it and run and play soccer here in the middle of the track. It's been huge for the running community, for the athletics community.
2 years ago, this site was just an empty field. Now it's a new 400-meter track at École Discovery Trails in Morden, opening after the school was built in 2024. And it wouldn't have been possible without support from the Morden Community Thrift Shop. Tuesday marked the grand opening of the store's second location next to its original building. But before any of that expansion, 26 organizations shared in $128,000 in grant funding.
That's why we're here. That's the only reason these two buildings are here. That's why we built this new one, is to be able to do what we do, and that is funding our community.
And that support is spreading well beyond Morden. The Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame says its $5,000 grant will help replace aging display cases. And about 10 kilometers northwest of the city, a 131-year-old church says a $20,500 donation will help urgent repairs to keep its building standing. Whether it's a new track or a leaking foundation, the Morden Community Thrift Shop's team of more than 85 volunteers says giving back is part of the job. For more information on where the money is going, visit ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. New video of life on the ocean floor off the coast of Newfoundland. It was captured by biologists who are showing off their discoveries in Ottawa. Here's CTV's Garrett Barry.
See, for the first time, these secrets of the sea.
For me, it's like watching a different movie every time the video and the camera comes up.
Hundreds of kilometers off the coast of Newfoundland and hundreds of meters underneath the surface, these ancient cold-water corals have never been seen before.
It's pitch black going through the water column for the longest time, and then all of a sudden this vibrant and textured landscape comes into view.
Until now.
You see something brand new that's never been seen before. It really gasses you up and keeps you going.
Isabelle Jubenville was on the Polar Prince for an expedition between Oceania Canada and DFO. The team captured this footage using a drop camera system, bringing light to these mysterious and incredible creatures.
Because they grow so very slowly, they actually hold a record of geological history in their tissues. So, you know, different isotopes of elements that exist in different quantities over time, that's actually registered within the structure of the corals.
A living history book. And these are the building blocks of the ocean.
They give us an answer as to why the waters off Newfoundland and Labrador are so rich, why we have such a long history of commercial fishing, you know, almost 500 years, if not longer.
Now, researchers with Oceania are in Ottawa tonight to show off what they found at this southern Newfoundland slope, sharing this find and maybe highlighting what's out here, what might be worth further study and protection. Garrett Barry, CTV News, St. John's.
Here's a look at the current traffic situation now on Donald Street. It looks like things are slowly moving well in this part of the city. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.60. It's a small drop from yesterday. The lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today is National Egg Day. So we asked, how do you like your eggs? Over medium for Wes. Marlene likes her eggs scrambled with cheese and veggies like an omelet. Over medium or eggs Benedict for Cheryl. Rick in Winnipeg Beach shared, how do I like my eggs? On somebody else's plate. Natalie says, my eggs have to be absolutely like dead, nothing moving in there. Basted soft for Albert. For a viewer, favorite eggs are soft boiled. Another viewer shared, I like my eggs cooked properly. For Ian, it's poached with pan fries, bacon, and hollandaise sauce. Corinne likes scrambled eggs or a fried egg white sandwich. We also like eggs in any type of baking, she says. Cheryl says, I love eggs and I will eat them any way I can get them. And Peter likes his eggs daily, scrambled, over easy, Benedict, or in omelets. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go now again to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about adapted bikes and the impacts they make on children. Hi, Ainsley.
And it really does take a community effort to put things like this together. PayWorks is one of those groups. Amanda Soloway is joining us now to talk about that partnership. Amanda, a long-standing partnership. Tell us all about it.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm so glad to be here today. Thank you. So PayWorks has been involved with CRF for several years now, many years, especially as part of the 25 Bikes campaign. We've been really happy to support the organization through this campaign, both with financial support. We partnered together with Johnston Group to provide 2 specialized bikes to the program in 2023. So we gave 1 specialized bike to a child named Liam, and we were very excited to do that and to partner in that way. And we've also had a lot of staff involvement with the campaign. So we've had volunteering hours through our Pay It Forward program. So our Pay It Forward program is a chance for our employees to give back to the community and to those organizations that really mean something personal to them. So we give 2 paid days off per year to volunteer their time. And several of our staff have chosen CRF and the 25 Bikes campaign in particular to participate in. So they have run phone call campaigns to local businesses, encouraging other businesses to also support the campaign, as well as we created a promotional video for the 25 Bikes campaign.
Oh, wow. And what's the feedback from the staff? Because they must love it.
They do. They really love it. And they've gone back time and time again to do these things. So having them choose the organization to support really means something important. We've also had people join the board at CRF to give back their time throughout the year.
And we want people to donate to the 25 Bikes campaign. We want people to go to Cruising to Change Lives. Let's do one last call out to the audience.
Absolutely. I would encourage all businesses, organizations, as well as individuals to support the 25 Bikes campaign, to attend these events, all of these initiatives, and throughout the year as well. It's proved wonders for PayWorks, and we've always been happy to support, and we'll continue to do so.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. We'll have a link on our website for more details. The event's on Sunday.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's looking like it wants to be sunny out there.
I think so. I mean, it's certainly looking a lot brighter off to the west, and we're beginning to see these clouds moving on out of the way. The rain from earlier this morning has certainly tapered off, so perfectly timed out. The bulk of it fell overnight. My plans are thriving. I point to my graphics. My plans are thriving, and it is going to be a little bit muggy today, but otherwise pleasant, especially for those of you who found it to be too hot the last few days. We're still above seasonal to begin the day at 18 degrees, but a very light breeze, 6 clicks out of the south-southeast. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 86%. And yes, we had the rain timed in the evening overnight, and now a little bit of sunshine as these clouds clear. It's not going to heat us up a whole lot. We're into seasonal temperatures for the next few days. That'll keep us in around those low 20s. And while we are likely to enjoy some sunshine through the middle part of the day, by late afternoon or evening time, that chance of showers or thunderstorms will develop again, and that'll continue perhaps overnight. Even tomorrow, we could still see some scattered precipitation and these low 20 temperatures to finish off the rest of this week. If you're waiting for more heat to come back, it will likely, timed out for the weekend. Saturday, mercury soaring with plenty of sunshine expected, and it'll stay hot throughout the weekend, though it could get a little bit stormy by the end of the weekend too, with Sunday some thunderstorms expected to develop, and that activity throughout next week.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
We have a traffic alert to tell you about now. There's our emergency crews have closed all northbound lanes of McPhillips between Selkirk and Burroughs Avenue due to a fire. All northbound traffic, please use alternate routes. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
New polling is bringing to light just how frustrated and fed up Canadians feel about our healthcare system. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on the data and one family's experience, which was once unheard of and now for many is the norm.
She got her own bowl of Cheerios last week for the first time.
Jen Dunn still remembers how she got her daughter Kaya, who has severe autism, a referral to a pediatrician. How could she forget?
I'm not exaggerating. I was on my knees in tears. And I said, I'm not leaving here until I get some help. Nobody will help me.
Hours spent in waiting rooms or months on referral lists. Don't pass quickly.
Any kid on the spectrum, it's just so hard for them to wait.
Dunn's number one focus is her daughter, but her own care situation is bleak. She last had a family doctor a decade and a half ago.
I was pregnant with my daughter and she just turned 16. I have gone on extensive wait lists, but I never get, it's like a lottery to get in.
Dunn's experience is echoed in a new Nanos research poll of 1,000 Canadians who most commonly named long waits their number one healthcare concern, followed by poor access to services and shortages of both doctors and staff. More than 90% of Canadians polled say something needs to change. More than 2/3 are open or somewhat open to having providers use AI to assist with diagnosis and treatment plans. 60% expressed openness to allowing private organizations to deliver publicly funded surgeries and diagnostic tests to reduce wait times.
The health system generally is so hard to turn this big ship around, whether it comes to using virtual care, allowing health professionals to use AI, allowing health professionals to do more of the things that traditionally doctors would do.
Only 14% of Canadians polled believe the healthcare system is headed in the right direction. No matter the solution, and a fix won't be simple, almost everyone agrees something is seriously wrong. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
You know, it's getting hot outside when the people of Transcona get ready for their annual and the city's longest running festival. The Transcona High Neighbor Festival is back this weekend. It will include musical acts, food, and a chance to greet and meet your neighbors in Transcona. Joining us now from Transcona High Neighbor Festival is Duncan McPhail.
Hi, neighbor. Hi.
Neighbor.
Good morning.
What a great name. I love the name of that festival.
Thank you. It's been going on for 62 years now. 62 years. It's the longest running festival in Winnipeg, and the largest, actually. So we're celebrating 67 years in the city this year.
That is incredible. Okay, so paint a picture for me. Is it like a whole street shut down?
Yeah, I mean, let's call it downtown Transcona.
Okay.
Okay. It'll run from Bond Street to Day Street and on Bond. So it's about a block long, like the 100 block of Regent Avenue. And it's we have a main stage. We got vendors. We got a lot of different food vendors, merchandise vendors. We have card readers.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you know, there's a lot to do on the strip. A lot of different rides, a lot of different things to do. And bands, we got like 14 bands this weekend happening.
That's cool.
We have Prism. They're playing on Saturday night. They're a band from the West Coast, going to fly in for the gig.
Okay.
We got Haywire on Friday night happening. They're a band from the East Coast flying in. So we got the whole country covered and everything in between. A lot of local talent on the stage this weekend. As well as on Friday is our opening ceremonies. We have our opening ceremonies happening at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
The mayor's going to show up for that, which is going to be fantastic. The premier's showing up for that as well. We're going to introduce our board of directors. You know, I got to thank the board of directors. Everything, like, it's all volunteer that makes this festival happen.
Yeah.
And they put on one heck of a job about 8 months of the year to make this thing roll. So it's we're looking forward to it.
Of course. You've been with High Neighbor for how long now?
I have been going to High Neighbor my entire life. Lifelong trip, but I've been a part of High Neighbor for about 3 years.
Okay, so being part of it and then going to it, obviously it's different when you're organizing it, but when you were going to it, what was your favorite part about the experience?
You know what? The community aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like everyone getting together, seeing people that you don't see all the time. It brings out the whole community. Like there's about like 50,000 people at least that walk through the High Neighbor, we'll call it gates, even though there is no gates because everything is free except for the rides, obviously, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But so you see a lot of people, a lot of family-based orientation, a lot of kid stuff to do, a lot of family events. It's good. It's a good feeling. As a kid myself, I had a lot of fun. You know, I remember getting sick on the rides, but I mean, always had a lot of great entertainment too, though. There's stuff to see, a lot of free things.
What's really great is you have a lot of businesses that are supportive as well. So their doors are open. You could wander in and out of businesses and support them as well.
Oh, right, down the Regent Avenue Strip, downtown Transcona, the businesses are open, and they like to support the Transcona High Neighbor Festival, of course. And you know, without our sponsors, none of this would really happen. You know, with our friends from the city of Winnipeg, our sponsors from the Transcona and surrounding areas, and the
volunteers.
And lots of volunteers. We had the parade happening, the Transcona High Neighbor Parade that happens at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Okay.
That'll run right through downtown Transcona, starting at Brewster to Iota, and it's always a good event. And I think the weather, according to Terry, it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be a scorcher. It's also a great opportunity to sort of say hi to your neighbors, obviously, but you don't have to be from Transcona to attend.
Oh, no, we get people from all over the province, actually, that come in for this. Not only around the Transcona area, but surrounding areas, of course, and out east, out west. It's going to be a really, really good time. Check out the website if you could. It's transconahighneighborfestival.ca.
And of course, we have a link on our website as well. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank
and
you.
Have fun this weekend.
It's going to be great. Thanks a lot.
Neighbor.
Bye. Hi, neighbor.
Yeah, it is going to be great this weekend. You're right about that. Beautiful. In fact, it's beautiful now. It's just a little bit cloudy. 18 degrees is where we're sitting. That's well above seasonal, with a light breeze out of the south-southeast, just 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 86%. Now, we saw the rain last night. You probably heard the rain last night or saw the flashes of lightning. My goodness, that was a lot of activity yesterday. Still seeing the remnants of all of that. As it's pushing off to the east, we'll see the sky clearing somewhat, so a little more sunshine as the day goes on, but then the chance of more precipitation into the evening overnight. And still a little bit of lingering shower activity for tomorrow, or at least the possibility is there. For the next few days, temperatures will be settling from the extremes. I know it's being hot, but then it's going to settle back to close to seasonal. 22 degrees being normal, and we'll be in those low 20s for the rest of the week now. But for the weekend, I'm excited about this. High 20s and up to 30 degrees, but that could kick off some storms again. That'll continue into next week. We're taking a break right now, but stick around. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, before we say goodbye, we're going to kick things off with some cookie time. Ooh.
Daddy! Love cookies. Love cookies. Love cookies. Love cookies. I want to cookie.
You know, a kid's happy when his feet move like that. That's the best part of the day. 2-year-old Danny was tasked with telling everyone that the cookies were ready, and he did just that. He banged on every door and yelled up and down every staircase until everyone knew.
How did their nose not tell them first? Come on, you can smell them. I would have been there long ago.
And then if you've ever wondered what birds would sound like giving directions, wonder no more.
I'm on the branch. Where are you?
Mate, I'm here. I'm looking for you.
Yeah, I'm on the branch.
Yeah, I know you're on a branch, but
it's that branch I told you about.
Mate,
it can be hard to describe a branch. These birds were given personalities with cartoon arms, cell phones, and voices by artist Sam Cotton. His page brings many animate and inanimate characters to life. Love that. And while it may be time to trade that sweater for a swimsuit, we are all this person.
You are going to die. You see my nice leopard print jumper I got last week? I just washed it. You ready? Come on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's what happens when you wash your jumper in the laundry without following the care instructions.
Look at
now
the arms.
She has a doll sweater. Oh my goodness. That does it for us. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.